Go, go, go! And we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I'm your host, PARC, and welcome to another session of Boring Mondays, where we do random topics from random folks. We're currently live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, so share. Joining me tonight are my co-hosts, Maki Alado Gomez from Taiwan, Pei Palmer from Hong Kong, and Romel Marcelo. Go, go, go!
Hello!
Good evening.
Good evening.
One!
Hello!
guys! How are you guys?
How are you in one word?
Sa isang salita.
Don't start! Huwag niyo simulan.
Balita ko,
Dito.
Sir Pei, may idol ka daw sa one word.
Huwag niyo simulan. Don't call negative entities here at baka pasukin tayo dito. Anyway guys, how are you? Happy Monday and welcome to another session of Boring Mondays. Romel Marcelo, how are you, brother?
Yun, I'm doing good. So, syempre, tuloy-tuloy lang ang buhay.
So nga, may kutsara at saka mangkok ka pa dyan sa kahasan eh. Oo, ano yan?
Ano yan? Sinigang sa miso yan.
Wow! Alright. How about you, Maki? How are you?
Syempre, all good. It's the start of a new week, and then of course we just had a chance to know people from outside the industry again. But again, it's a good Monday. So let's start this off.
It is.
Start this week with a new bang. Yan.
Alright. Uy, malapit na rin Chinese New Year. So we'll be celebrating that too. Gamrights, how's Taiwan? Brother?
Season 3, papi. Season 3 is
Oh,
real.
you're so hindi nyo natiis gayahin ng Pilipinas, no?
Yeah.
Nainggit kayo. Anyway.
Marami pa
Season
Pinoy.
3 is real.
Alright. So, but you guys are safe there, no? Okay naman kayo dyan.
Kung may kumakalat na, pag
Sandali lang. Saya, napansin ko lang, parang pareho suot nyo ni Romel. Sasayaw kayo?
ay, syempre, papi. Yung get natin ngayon,
Wait,
di mas
ay,
basta eh.
ano ba? Ano ba kayo? The maneuvers or something like that. Yung mga ganun.
Tumbling yan. Maneuvers.
Maneuvers. Anyway, Pei, how are you? Hong Kong, mukhang malamig dyan How are you, brother?
Malamig ngayon dito. It's very good. Ayun, ano rin dito ngayon, season 3 din.
Balita ko ba, proud na proud ka sa bata mo?
Ay, oo! Matalino! Sobra! Nakakadismaya.
Anyway guys, welcome to another Boring Monday session, and tonight's session is all about the club series again. This is our third installment, and pag-usapan natin kung sino yung guest namin, pero matindi yan. So I'm just happy to have them here. Alright, Romel, can you do some shoutouts first, brother?
Yun, so guys, wait lang medyo mayroon technical difficulties tayo ngayon na
Maki,
experience.
take over. Double time.
Ito. Sige, start na tayo. Okay na. Syempre magandang big kay kay Kuya Edwin Loyola from LA. Magandang gabi sa iyo.
Good morning.
Kay Team Zion, syempre from Aklan.
Fanatics.
Ngayon ang Boring Mondays.
Yeah, it's Monday now. It's Boring Monday. Not last Saturday.
Then si Garrick L, magandang gabi sa inyo. Kay Nix Veray, magandang gabi rin po. And then,
Sige lang ako may mga nanonood rin Don Jose Romulo Davis, Ceres Fuentes, Alvin Biola, and Steve Albano. Thanks for dropping by, guys, and keep watching at magandang topic tonight. Yup.
Also, ihabol na rin ako.
Go.
Joff Ayo, Aldos D. Asuncion, Ceres Fuentes, Zeus Velasco, and Arthur Gimena. Good evening to all of you.
Mukhang ang raming manonood ngayon Mukhang ang raming
iba yung may
Big time ang guest natin ngayon, big time.
CCP.
syempre,
Hindi
hindi naman kami mag-quote ni Gabo.
wala silang malaking relo kaya hindi big time. This the right word is prestigious group to. Okay, it's one of those the group that you really want to know what's really happening yan. So galing nito. Anyway guys, trabaho muna kami ni Maki, and without them of course wala rin yung show na to. We need to promote and show kung bakit sila tumutulong. Go Maki.
course, this show and Park Here Live is always brought to you by our generous sponsors, starting with Roller Coaster Creative Studio located in Hong Kong. So if you have your video and photography needs with a studio, in fact, you can
Galing
even
naman yan.
do a full studio shoot inside
Ganda
this
ng logo nun, no?
big studio in Hong Kong. So do visit Rollercoaster Creatives at gmail.com for inquiries.
Sobrang solid, no?
and-
Sobrang solid yung
Survey,
logo,
can you
no?
describe roller coaster in one word?
Stop.
Matatalino.
One word yun.
All right.
Next,
Okay,
we also
Maki.
have Nick Doodles on IG. This is your one-stop shop to portray any children's book or original art piece that can be converted into any sticker, photo books, and other artwork. So for more inquiries, do visit Nick Doodles on IG or Nicky.
All right,
on
and
Instagram.
okay, my turn. Just want to thank Handy Toff, Abacus Microcomputer, Sherwin of TCA, Digital Square, Ryan Tablat of Rail Corp, Michael Lim of Audio Rages, Nilan Jet of PS10 Incorporated, and Ramil Portes of Single Reflex Camera Services. And again, Maki, back to you.
Of course, we also have to say thank you to Different Philippines for providing the intensive whitening pre-serum natural hyaluron 100% for the whole team. We also have to say thank you to China's Home Baked Goodness, the makers of ube cheese pandesal cheese rolls and Saimada and custom-made cakes. We also have to say thank you to Momi Big Big's Kitchen, the makers of the ube biko makapuno, and of course the always reliable pancit. Also, we have to say thank you to Med Aesthetica PH for providing the most affordable home service COVID-19 testing, especially now we are on our third surge of the Omicron variant. So for
And
those
yes,
who
yeah, guys,
need on-site
if
testing,
if you don't want to go out and you want to stay at home and you want to get tested, they're the one of the best you could trust pagdating dyan. And
we
of
also
course,
have to say thank you to Winnie's Deli for
Winnie
providing the sausage sampler during the holidays. Yan.
Parang masarap yung malutong-lutong ngayon.
Yes, and-
statement yung masarap. Ubod ng sarap. Lalo
Ubod
na
ng
pag
sarap.
nandito ka sa Pilipinas, nalalasahan mo yun.
Also,
Ay,
we
sigaw
have to
natin,
say-
no? Damay.
We also have to say thank you to Homescape Realty, which is your guide to your real estate needs. For any properties and inquiries, do contact homescaperealty.com.ph or also on their Facebook page, Homescape Realty
Ay,
at
hindi na ako
facebook.com.
Hmm.
And our friends from FPPF.
Oh, wait. Ayun na, wala yung, yung file ko dito. Alright, I got it, yeah. Alright.
Yeah. Alright, so our friends from FPPF will be holding their online workshops on Saturdays of February and March, especially on the dates mentioned here, the 12th, the 19th, the 26th, the 5th, and the 12th of March. And this is going to be held via Zoom. So for those who are interested to learn the comprehensive digital photography workshop, do visit photoworldmanila.com under FPPF website.
Alright.
Nakikita ko yung
Part
comments
of the
niyo.
FPPF going online is the Vino Thomas Photography Grant. So for those who are interested to learn and hear from Vino Thomas himself, an ADB club member, Camera Club. So do visit FPPF for more info.
And 4 days more, brother. 4 days
And of
more.
course,
Yun!
4 days to go before the Photo World Asia 2022, and this will be happening on January 28, 29, and the 30th. So there's still time to register. Just scan the QR code that you see on the screen or visit the FPPF website for more info. And this is going to be one hell of a good time because you're going to have, the best speakers for this year.
Oh, yeah. Very bad.
And
Maki,
finally,
our
we
friend.
have to say thank you also and help promote Chef Easy of Eat Matters, which her project for her birthday is going to be helping local farmers by way of promoting the kitchen kalasag, as she calls it, which is a vegetarian eggplant lasagna created by Chef Easy herself. So for inquiries, just go to the IG page of Eat Matters or contact Easy Loriano on her FB page.
Alright. Hinga. Maki, hinga.
Grabe, galing na ni Maki, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pero yun, okay,
Actually,
Mac,
wala
Romel,
akong
one
ano
more
yun.
shout out and we'll bring in the guest. Mac, Romel, go.
Shout out mo yung
Yan,
anak mo, papi. Baka itakwil ka niya.
nakita ko nga yun. So, syempre, magandang gabi kay Joff Ayo, magandang gabi po. Syempre kay Doc Franco Basa, magandang gabi. Richard Galante, magandang gabi. Syempre sa anak ko, kay Carl Jasper, idol, shoutout daw. Shoutout sa iyo anak,
Wow.
shoutout yan.
Wow!
Kay Leon Carion, magandang gabi.
Yun, good
Alawan.
Maximo Sakan, magandang gabi.
Ay, good
Yun.
afternoon. Ay,
And
good evening.
sa ating 17 million subscriber.
It's actually 19. It's actually 90 million right now. We're good. We're doing good, guys. Anyway, guys, so
Yan.
tonight, okay, let's talk about our guests at saka tonight. Again, guys, yung mga who's just dropped by ngayon pa lang nanonood, we're doing another special episode of Boring Monday, which is called the Club Series. The Club Series, normally we feature different clubs. So iba-iba to. It could be a small club, a big club. It doesn't matter what type of club. Basta
Hindi pa
wala
yun yung
lang.
club na may sumasayaw,
Hindi yung mga sumasayaw, yung mga yan.
Mag-guess kami.
We'll try to venture on that pag meron na kaming pag nakapag-ocular na kami. Pero for now, hindi na muna. So, all right. So, Maki, what do you expect tonight, brother?
Okay, so what we'll expect tonight on the Club Series. So again, this is the third installment of the Club Series brought to you by Boring Mondays. And our audience will expect to learn more about one of the prestigious clubs here in the Philippines. In fact, it is so prestigious that yung membership nito, it's not just a one quick
No, it's not. Maraming nito.
Has to be layers of application.
It's not just kumbaga ito yan eh. If you're just a normal photographer like me, you would wonder, sino tong mga to, CCP? Then you'll do research and shit. And makikita mo ngayon yung mga members, oh shit, grabe to. Kumbaga, parang dream team. It's another type of so talagang prestigious, and it's different. It's really different, and I really want to know more about it. Sabi ko nga earlier, I've been mentioning this. Sabi ko nga, tong interview tonight would be something like a Nat Geo inside the Vatican City. Sabi like that. Why? Kasi all of us na normal na tao, we don't even know what's really happening inside the
Nakita nyo na po mga attire namin ngayon, di ba?
Oo, napilitan kami magsuot ng disente or mainit.
So, init na eh, pero bahala na.
Yeah. So, yeah. Pero this again, we'll be starting again, guys. The club series is open for all. Kahit yung maliliit na clubs, kahit yung mga na-dissolve na club, we'll be inviting them. We'll talk about anything. Yeah, it's true. That's part of the plan, to showcase or give them talk about their club. Yun lang yun. So, wala kaming pinipili. Yung nga lang, I want to know about CCP, or also known as Camera Club of the Philippines. And I guess they're the oldest camera club, right, Maki?
Yes,
They are, because they were conceptualized 1928. Hindi pa tayo pinapanganak yung iba.
1928, di pulbora pa yung mga flash na yung
Pumuputok pa.
You can expect that there's long history there. There's
And I wanna know.
many changes over the time. So later we'll hear their story.
Alright. So pasok muna natin yung isa. Kasi yung isa na guest natin would be our guest co-host rin at saka na to suki na ng show natin to, no, di ba? So hindi pa pwede. So without this guest, baka hindi tayo mapapansin ng CCP, or hindi natin sila mai-invite. So malaki nito, buti kinulit natin to, di ba? So Mai, you wanna do an introduction, or Romel, you wanna introduce our first guest? Siyempre, hindi alam ni Romel kasi hindi siya kasama sa meeting kanina kung sino nakita ko alam mo yung face nag-worry siya, di ba?
Ako. Hindi, mag-ano daw yan. But anyway, our first guest and tonight's guest co-host, so that's guest/guest co-host, is one of our very own na. Pwede na siya mag-regular na dahil nakapag-set up na. So inayos na niya yung kanyang buong setup for tonight.
Saka hindi na siya mag-ala Cesar Montano, yung tipong, 'di ba may pintuan sa likod, yung tipong 'di ba may nakahubad na lalabas sa gilid. So hindi na mangyayari 'yun.
So we've had her on a previous interview with sino ba yung kasama niya nun? Sila ano yan?
Sila
All girls.
Sila, all
we
girls
had
group.
since
All
back nila,
girl power.
Yeah, the girl power, the first series. And then, of course, we had to invite her again because she belongs or she is a current member of CCP, one of the most prestigious clubs here in the Philippines. Let us all welcome our very own Tita, Annabelle Chavez.
Alright, kaway.
Ayun.
Naka-mute
Unmute
ka.
ka,
Mute. Ayan, naka-mute. Ayan, naka-mute. Wait, unmute natin.
Press unmute.
Press unmute.
Annabelle. Press unmute.
Yun.
Hi.
There you go.
Yun.
Yan.
Hello.
Good evening.
And Happy
How
New
are you,
Year.
Annabelle?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's nice to meet
How are you,
again,
my
guys.
friend? Long time no see, di ba? Musta?
Ito, ginugulong mo na
Gumaganda.
naman ako.
O, syempre, masyado ka nang nagpapayaman so kailangan kitang tawagin ulit at baka wala ka na mapagtabihan ng pera mo dyan. Tama na. Pero, how are you? How's pandemic life?
Oh, I have to stay home. Saka, I learned to clean my room, cook,
O, di ba?
all the household. Yeah.
Kailangan, linawin natin. Learn how to clean your room by saying, hey, linisin mo to.
Linisin
Ganon.
niyo to.
Hindi. Ako mismo.
Ay, ikaw na.
Yun ang
Aba?
ano doon, di ba? You have to learn
Ako
it, di
mismo.
ba?
Can you
meant to
Oh, di
imagine?
ba?
be, di ba?
Oo.
May added talent ka na. Di ba?
So, but yeah, like we mentioned earlier, it was through her that we were able to finally invite this club tonight. So thank you, Tita Annabelle, for
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
facilitating
mention.
this.
Pero
club.
really, thank you very much for helping us
Pleasure.
out. Kasi we really want to know more of your friends and your club. Kasi di ba, the time you enjoy, I know you were enjoying the club when we were talking, when you were still starting, it was a new challenge. Sabi nga, talagang ang saya. I could see yung something new for sa'yo eh. So, doon ka halos talagang nag-grow eh. Nag-iba yung ano. So, what was yung club malaking nagawa sa'yo, no? In terms of career growth, in terms of being creative. Malaki na itulong ng club, right?
Yeah. Even if there's no, parang hindi, you don't learn the skills, but you will be inspired by their pictures. So through the years na I've been competing with them, mai-improve ka just looking at their
Ayun, di ba?
pictures. Yeah.
Ayun, sige. So, pero bago natin continue to, ipapasok ngayon natin yung isa-isa ng mga kaibigan mo. So, kami ni Maki will try to build the guest, we'll give you the name, then ikaw, pakilala mo rin kung ano yung personality nila at paano mo sila nakilala.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
So, first impression yan. So, just to make it fun, kasi hindi nila alam kung ano yung first impression nyo sa kanya. So, we'll do that, something different naman. Alright, Maki, who's our next guest? Papasok.
All right, our next guest for tonight is a current member of CCP. The name is Jaime Cumagun, and I'll let Miss Annabelle Chavez describe to us who is this person.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I cannot describe.
You cannot
He's the
describe
most-
para
Cannot describe.
ang hirap.
para
He's the
ano ba?
most-
Sigurado ka ba kaibigan mo to?
No.
Okay.
Just tell us a little bit of how
Yeah.
you got to know this person.
Yeah.
He's one of my member during my days. So
Okay.
when we have our on the spot contest, siya kasama ko. And then the last time we had on the spot contest, ako ang sumama sa kanya. So he's a
Okay.
good friend of mine in the club.
All right, so pasok na natin. So Maki, without further
So
ado.
without further ado, let us all give a warm round of applause to our guest tonight, Mr. Jaime Cumagun.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone,
Yeah.
good evening.
Good evening po. Good evening po.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Ayan, maganda lang pag-build up sa'yo ni Annabelle. So, so Jaime, you wanna say hi to your friends muna before we proceed?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'd like to
go.
start with a shout out to my girlfriend, Christelle, who is in Bacolod right now.
Uy.
And to a friend that I see present also for the evening from Cebu, Sel. Good evening to you guys.
Hi, Sel. Hi,
Sel.
Sel.
Idol Cell.
I like Jaime. Napaka-good vibes siya. Yung he's a smiley guy. He gives you good vibes. Yan yung mga dapat kasama na tanggalin na natin si Romel dito sa group. That's the people we need. Yung lagi nakangiti. Hindi na kasi
yata ang boring Mondays na dahil
isa na si Ramay. Lagi nakasimakot yung isa.
Pakita mo yung happy face mo. Happy face.
Alright, Annabelle. Maki, who's next?
Of course, this one is a former president. This is the 2021 president of CCP, and still doing everything to make CCP one of the prestigious club here in the Philippines. The name is Roberto Sison, or otherwise known as Bob Sison. So, Miss Annabelle, how would you describe her?
How do you... Pero pwede ako sumali sa describe. Gusto ko siya. Gusto ko ganun. Gusto ko yung buhok niya. I wanna be parang Richard Gere ang dating yung
Richard Gere siya.
Diba Richard Gere ang dating yan?
And he knows how to play the guitar, I think.
Yan!
And he can sing.
Boss Romel din naman na Richard Gere.
Richard Gere yan.
Pero yung gear ng sasakyan na ganun gear.
Ayan, tayo pa eh. But, sige. Let's bring him in because I want to hear his voice also and let our people see him. Without further ado, let's bring in Mr. Bob Sison, otherwise known as Roberto Sison.
Hi, Sir Bob.
Good evening po.
Hi, Bob.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Everywhere in the world where you are being broadcasted, good evening to all the people.
Yeah. Ganda, di ba? Richard Gere talaga.
Okay, nice to see you here, Sir Bob. Ayan, ang ganda talaga ng buhok niya, Sir. Talaga, pag gusto ko sana ganyan, sa akin, ang paubos hindi nagkakaroon ng kulay Mukhang nakakahawa si Romel Anyway.
Nakakahawa pala yun.
Nakakahawa yan. Yeah.
To
Alright,
complete
Baki.
tonight's guest, of course, we have to bring in
The new member of Boring Mondays.
the current president of CCP 2022. The name is Garrick L. So, Miss Annabelle, describe us.
Yeah.
How do you
Garrick L. Yeah.
He's a technical guy. If you want to ask anything about finance or new electronics, he's the one you have to ask.
Finance. So, pwede tayo magtanong ng NFT dito. NFT dito.
All right. Without further ado, let us all bring in and welcome the current president of CCP, Mr. Garrick L.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for inviting us. Yeah.
Ang ganda ng mic.
First of all, I'd like to greet Edwin Viola. Hi.
Kuya Edwin, special shout out na.
Gumising daw siya ng 3 o'clock ng umaga.
Yeah. So guys, Sir Garrick, again guys, welcome to Boring Mondays. I know this is not your normal thing, that being interviewed on a Monday night na nang hindi nyo mga taong hindi nyo kilala. But again, I promise you, this is for a good deed. You're gonna inspire a lot of people here, so if they're not even watching, trust me, on the replay they would definitely, and all the clubs, they're gonna have an idea here kung what's really going on. So it's all about you and the club. So isa pa nga sabi ko sa inyo, one thing that I'm really parang amazed with your group, you guys are not just normal people outside the club. So yeah, siyempre, most of them are parang president ng mga companies. You're just well-made people. Pero pagdating sa club, with all those powerful personality, how does it work? Hindi, diba? Kasi kasi sa simpleng grupo lang, ang hirap na nga pagsamahin ng iba-iba ugali. So, there's a technique, there's a formula. And guys, look at this. It's since 1928.
Yes.
That long, and the club is still existing. There's a formula. So everyone is curious about that. And ano ba talaga? Siguro mga stupid question. Ano bang kinakain ng mga to pag nagbibida? So you expect those questions na mababaw. Why? Kasi sobrang yung group nyo is so mysterious, it's so elite, it's prestigious na everyone is I want to join that club, but how? Ano ba? What does it takes to be part of the club? Kailangan bang may bang requirements ng skin to? Pag kasi itim ba ni Romel, hindi na pwede sa club nyo. So pag may mga ganun, so I'm kidding around, pero we really have to know everything. But before we start, of course, I want to know you as a photographer, as an artist. So, of course, the first question here would be always is, I want you guys to introduce yourself and tell me how it started for you sa photography. Then, what's your specialization? And paano kayo napasok sa club? How did you discover the club and paano kayo napasok? So, Maki, who would be the first one?
All right. So let's start first with, of course, Sir Jaime Cumagun.
Talaga si Jaime ang mo.
May bingo ako dito,
All right.
Go, sir.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jaime, and I started with the Camera Club around 2016. It was an invite. I never expected it. Thanks to my lolo, he had a friend who is a senior member of the club, and he was encouraging that senior member to put me in. And that's how it started for me. I never expected, and the adventure was something. You're curious on how we start, and I'll never forget how we
Mukhang mukhang matindi Pero
matagal na po kayo nagpo-photography noon.
So you're okay. So I guess those no regrets kasi you're still smiling until now, and I guess you're still part of the group, and I guess it's fun. Pero I heard about that. Yung being a probie or just being a newbie there is not just smooth sailing or relax. It's really parang bang anong term ba doon? Dadaan ka sa ulo ng karayong yata, something like that. So butas ng karayong. So yun.
Alright, Sir Jaime. So tell us, before getting into the club, what were you doing, or what is your passion before the club?
Before the club, it was really taking pictures for myself. Photography was an escape. It helped me through college, and after I graduated, it was still enjoying the craft. I mean, with the technology out there, you start with, how does this work? Is manual important? Then you just took off from there. And then fast forward to today, I met Annabelle in the club, and my life has never been the same.
Was that good?
It was good. Kasi si Belle, pag inaya
Si Belle,
sabay ka sa kotse ko, sabay ka sa akin sa mga trips.
Pag ganyan, wala na. Ang lakas mong influence ng tao na yan.
Alright,
what's your... gapang?
Sir Jaime, follow-up question.
Yes,
is photography a hobby or
a profession?
A profession for you?
Right now, I'm in the middle. It's a hobby that also pays. I'm in the real estate industry with my girlfriend, and I take pictures of our direct clients' properties. So you could say that I've enjoyed it.
Wow.
And I'm able to also make some money.
Hingi tayo ng tips dyan.
And that's good. At least, diba? You're enjoying both, diba? Pag na-burnout ka, it's just a hobby. Now, if you wanna earn a little bit, then make it work. So, at least both. Okay, so sige, we'll go back to you on more. So, we'll introduce the other guest para at least malaman namin ba. So, we could build up the questioning here. Maki, sige, who's next?
All right, next we have Sir Bob Sison. Your floor.
Yeah, I'm here. I joined the Camera Club I was inducted in 2016, but I joined the club as a probie towards the end of 2014, beginning of 2015.
Okay.
Before that, a few years before that, I was still working. I retired in 2012. I decided to take up photography a little bit more seriously.
Okay.
A little bit more seriously because I've been taking photographs since 1972.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm the family photographer. Okay, I take photos only of parties and vacations and trips, etc. But I never really had any passion for photography
Yeah.
until recently. Until recently, when I joined the club. But
Mhm.
I would still consider myself as somebody who's trying it out.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's serious, it's not even a hobby because a hobby is something that you devote time to and
Yeah,
spend
yeah.
things. In fact, somebody mentioned that I'm into a little bit of music because I've been a part of a band.
Oh.
Mm.
When I
Oh.
retired, when I
Mhm.
retired, the first thing I did was to buy buy band instruments and set up a studio in my basement and
Ah, sarap.
invite old people, invited old people to join me because our music belonged to the 60s. Most
Oh,
of
Oh,
you
but
ma-
were not
still, those are
around then.
mga
classics. Huh?
ano, mga RJ Jacinto dating
Something like that.
nito.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah. Magaling siya.
going back to what I was doing, I've been a manufacturing executive for many many years because I'm an engineer by
Mm.
profession, but I
Mhm.
really concentrated on management, and
Okay.
I ran a big factory,
Mhm.
uh, international internationally. It's a Filipino company, and I won't mention the name anymore.
No, no, no need, no need. Sige, baka biglang marami mag-apply sa inyo. Hindi na namin ho kasalanan.
When I retired, my sponsor, the late Ramoncito Abad, he's
Mhm.
very
Oh,
popular.
okay.
A lot of people know him. He's a
Mhm.
Yeah.
very sociable guy, and he's a witty and funny guy. But anyway,
Mhm.
he was the one who invited me to join the club,
Mhm.
and he really took care of me because he was at my back all the time, and when I had problems, he was there to advise me. He saw me through until I was inducted. Because,
Mhm.
as I said, I was not really that serious.
Mhm.
He said, join the club. Okay, I know how to click a camera. I'm not good at it, but I own a camera. I've always
Mhm.
owned a camera, one or two cameras, but I was never really good at it. Yun. So I joined the
Okay.
club, and now I'm beginning to appreciate the technology of taking photos, especially
Yes.
now in the digital age.
Digital.
So,
How was the transition, sir? From, di ba, kasi you started in 1972 and definitely it's not digital. So how was the transition for you?
there was no transition because before the digital, as I said, all I took were
The
photos
family.
of the family affairs. My
Yeah.
birthday, kuha, develop sa Kodak. Yung ganda ng picture, yan, etc. No composition, nothing.
Mhm.
Basta kuha lang ng kuha. And
Oo.
I was
Lakas
using
appeal
good
nun.
cameras naman. I was using good.
Mhm.
When I entered the club, so we migrated towards digital photography. Doon
Mm.
Yeah.
talagang challenge because in
Doon na
addition to
talaga.
the camera, you had to
Mhm.
study the technology of editing and things
Yes.
like that. Uh, I don't mind saying, naging estudyante na rin ako ni Park. Okay, dahil sa
Ay, wow!
Nice. Nako,
Big
nako,
time pala
ala,
si
ala,
Sir
ala,
Park.
okay,
So, Sir Park, Sir Park.
Big time si Sir Park.
Sir
I'm in my
Park!
Galing ni
senior
Park,
age
ah.
already.
Sir
alam nyo
Park!
guys, kasi alam mo yung grupo ko, if people are mentioning na sa akin na ganyan, instead of commendation na kukuha ko, pang-Alaska na kukuha ko sa kanila. So, ganyan ang nangyayari. So, kaya, kung minsan hindi ako natutuwa pag nababanggit na ako naging, salbahe itong grupo ko po. Ayan, that's why, wala na akong choice. It's a burden and a curse at the same time that wala na akong choice. Pero Sir Bob, yeah, I know. I remember the hair actually. I still remember the hair. Sabi ko nga
Remember,
kaya. Yeah.
okay, here's a bit of trivia. And I'm sure a lot
Mhm.
of people are listening. You taught me something which I don't think anybody is using.
Hmm.
I will tell you privately, but you taught me a technique in Photoshop.
Ayan, natakot ako,
Oh,
sir. Wala naman. Hindi naman kayo. Hindi naman.
yeah.
Natakot ako eh.
Okay. Nakikinig yung mga kasama ko. It's
Ah.
something like this. Alam niyo yung ano yun? Yung
Rembrandt.
Remedy.
Rembrandt?
Remedy.
Renminbi?
Remedy.
Remini.
Ah, yeah.
Anyway, sabi nila, you can make your pictures clearer.
Yeah.
Okay?
AI.
Somebody
That's an
told me.
AI technology.
Sinubukan ko.
Mhm.
Okay, luminaw. Pero sinubukan ko yung tinuro sa akin ni Park. Mas malinaw.
Mas malinaw.
Yan.
Ah. See, may,
Park.
may silbi ako eh. Pabira kayo ito mga kasama ko eh.
Papaturo natin kay Park yan.
Oo.
Baka hindi naman sharp pen yan.
Anyway.
Baka blurring naman yan. Baka blur ko lalo.
Salma.
Marami pa ako istorya pero I'm taking up the time, no? So,
Okay lang. Guys, again,
marami pa ako istorya, so I'll turn over the floor again.
pero again, guys, as Maki mentioned nga earlier, this is your show, this is your time. We're just hosting it for you to just talk about your thing here. So this it's not even a paid broadcast. So diba? So enjoy. Pero Sir Bob, maraming salamat just being here and sitting here and talk about your adventure. Marami pa tayo pag-usapan. Marami pa kasi pero Sir Bob and Jaime, you both mentioned you were invited. It's part of just to be part of the group. You need to be meron ka talagang kailangang sponsor.
The term would
Right?
have been sponsored, right?
Yeah.
To be sponsored.
You have to be sponsored. Hindi pa pwede kang pamasok lang doon na, oy, ako to. So walang ganun sa club na to.
Walk-in.
Right?
Walk-in. No walk-in. Yeah.
Walang walk-in.
No walk-in. Walang walk-in.
Wala yata.
Oh.
Walang walk-in.
May
It
stages sila pa.
was it the same style since dati pa based on your your history or your past was it passed down na ganoon na talaga?
Gano'n na talaga siya.
I think
Grabe.
Never seen. Okay.
There was a time
Marcos
na
Weekend, remember?
Mhm. Okay.
And
See?
just to be invited, tama nga si Jaime, just to be invited is something, huy! Okay na eh, yun na yun eh.
But that's just the first step because
Oo,
remember,
kasi kailangan mo
we were already
i-prove.
saying, you have to prove that you will be
Alamin natin yan, alamin natin kay Jaime sa Annabelle kasi sila yung nag-tandem at alam ko kung gaano yung pinagdaanan. Sige. So Maki, who's next? Sige.
All right. Siyempre, we are now honored to hear from the current president himself, Mr. Garrick L. Go ahead, it's your floor.
And the new member of Boring Mondays. Sir, I'm
By the way,
sponsoring
thank
you and I'm dragging you. I'm gonna kick out one of the members just to bring you in. You have a good mic. Okay, let's just
By
kidding.
the way, thank you for inviting us here to your show. Okay, I think I started I joined the camera club I think in almost the same time as Bob. No? I think Bob started a few months earlier than me, and then after that I followed suit. I've been wanting to join the camera club ever since, no? But like you said, there's no walk-in. I've been trying to inquire, write an email, no response, zero.
Yeah.
Oh.
So then I joined the Rotary Club of Pasig, which I'm also currently the president. At that time, I was taking pictures in the club, no? And then there's one guy who saw me. His name is Bobby Paterno. So he said, you're interested in photography. Maybe baliktad eh. Sabi pa nga niya, do you like to join the Camera Club of the Philippines? I almost fell on my seat, I said, I've been trying to get into that club for so long, cannot get in. And then suddenly, and then Bobby Paterno is one of the lifetime members. The late Bobby Paterno is also one of the historian of the club. He's been the one documenting all the things about the Camera Club. So I was very fortunate to be invited by Bobby Paterno. And of course, after you get invited, you need to be screened by the membership committee. So you still can get rejected, even though somebody sponsor you. Just to be a Promi members. Just to be
so
a Promi members.
may chance ka pang matanggal no? After
pwede ka pang matanggal.
Even somebody sponsor you, And then you have to pass the screening. I think that's 2 months time yata or 3 months time. You will know that you will be accepted as a Promi.
Ano yun, bibigyan po kayo ng assignment? Ganun.
During the first 3 months, you will be in charge of managing the contest. So you will help the contest committee. We have a contest committee chairman, contest committee members. So you have to help the contest committee collect entries, place the labeling, put it on the table for the judging, di ba?
I guess
lahat ng ad hoc work. Kayong
Yeah,
kayo
you will help the
So,
contest committee.
you just
And then-
say na it's irrelevant whatever your position outside the club. Pagdating
Yes.
dito, you'll do the
Yes.
work.
ikaw
Yes.
yung boy, ikaw yung boy.
Walang
member.
position dito o walang padri it's like
Only
that.
one member said, I don't like your face.
CEO ka ng
Whatever the
kumpanya
reason.
ng iba, no? Tapos
Oo.
ikaw
Okay, whatever the
ayos
reason,
ng
whatever the reason, he can always say, I don't like your face. You're out.
Yeah, you're out.
Eh?
Kahit isa lang.
Yeah.
Kahit
Oh my
isa
God.
lang member.
Eh, wala na si Romel Pag-asa doon. Oo. Oh, God.
Hindi, but it's fun of it. Really. If you look at it, that I'm just scaring you guys, no. But actually,
No, it's not. You know why, sir?
lighters.
Ang ganda yun eh. Kasi why? We wanna see how strict talaga or filtering or how do you do the screening. Kasi why? That's why it works for you eh. Kasi sa sobrang screening nyo and how hard to be inside, you would cherish your being part of that club. You're not gonna take it for granted. That's the right word eh. You're not just gonna fool around or papetik-petik ka lang dyan. Kasi just to be in, ang hirap na eh. So hindi mo papabayaan eh.
Yes,
So yun
correct.
na. So mga club, tingnan nyo, kung gagawin yung lahat yan, talaga mafi-filter. Yun yung first solution ng kung may mga sungay kayong member, at first pa lang hindi na makakapasok eh, di ba?
Correct,
So,
correct.
all right, mga Ki, continue, go.
All right. So, Sir Garrick, since we're on the topic already and you are the current president, can you please give us a bit of history of the club? I mean, where it
you
all
could
began?
Guys, pwede kayo magtulong
You
history kasi.
can pitch in, You can pitch in.
Well,
Everyone can
the
pitch in.
history,
Pagkakaalam
I think
nyo yung history
mas
ng
magaling
club.
si Jaime dyan eh. But anyway,
Ay.
in 1928, a few businessman and a lawyer, I think industrialist, in Escolta, no, they come out during the days, and then they started to form a club, no, and then they started to meet, no, and then they started to discuss about photography. That's
Yes.
how it all started. And then as the year passed by, one tradition to another. Okay. And then I guess the great revival started in 1972, I think 70 something, no? When they the late who's that? There's a late the guy in the EDSA, the Sani Camarillo revived the club again and then bring back the old glories. You know the guy who shoot EDSA, the one who Fidel Ramos who jumped during the
Yes,
EDSA
yeah.
revolution.
The jump
He's
shot.
the guy
Yes.
who shoot that. One of our Sani Camarillo. We know him. So he actually revived again the club back to the old glories. Because there's
I
a
see.
war in the 1960s and the likes. No?
Yes.
And then I think the club also transitioned from films that you're asking a while ago. They transition. It was a painful transition, according what I heard now.
Yes.
Because a lot of the guys are still on films. So, but of course, there's a few of the members who insist that we have to move to digital. That was a transition point. And then, of course, this is also a high time that I assume the presidency of the club because it's also high time that we have to embrace change. Because I guess this pandemic has brought us to finally understood that technology is here to stay. Either you embrace it
Or
survive.
not, diba?
Not just
Not
photography.
embrace, yeah,
It's everything. It's in business, in work, even in
Yes.
photography. That you have to embrace change. So digital
Yes.
photography have moved to another level, right? And we all know it because we're just talking before. It's just digital. Now we're talking about AI. We're talking about post processing
The metaverse.
to the highest
Yes.
level. We're talking about computing power that is so powerful that basically the megapixel of a raw file can exceed 150 MB. And then so many information can be stored. And how do you now post process those information to a photograph that can be expressed digitally or artistically or creatively? It's a different way.
Yes.
Okay, I started photography. Want to ask the historic? I started photography. I'm an IT guy actually. Annabelle's right. Thank you, Annabelle. For
Yeah,
the
you
description.
are a tech guy. You sound one and you talk like one. So no doubt about it. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm an IT guy. In 2019, I'm nominated by IDG to be one of the top 50 CIO of Southeast Asia. So basically, that's my profession. Actually,
Yeah.
I have several startup companies, several startup companies, and then what inspired me to photography is because when I do my website, when I do my mobile apps, I don't
Yes.
have digital asset. And I started doing website way back in the 1990s, the year 2000, late 1990s, early 2000s, when digital was still at the start. No? And
Yes.
then I'm always upset when I'm waiting for my creative assets. I cannot launch my website because there's no pictures, still late, there's
Yes.
the post
Correct.
processing. So I decided to take the camera and create my own.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say sometimes you just miss an icon and then you have to wait for the artist to create illustrate another icon, right? It takes a long time.
Oh.
Imagine now I can code my own website, I can took my own asset instantly.
Mm-hmm.
If I need one, I just go out and take another one and come back, edit it, and that's it. And now I can put up a website, let's say in 2-3 days, I can fire up a website with all the digital beautiful pictures in it. And that's how I started photography.
Yan yung ano.
And then,
Okay.
and then I'm not very good, honestly. I'm not very good initially. I just basically buy a very expensive DSLR camera and sometimes chamba, di ba? You see the good picture, sometimes not, and then you don't know why.
Hindi
Why
ka-
sometimes my photo is good, sometimes it's not, di ba?
You,
Now-
you
now-
just
now you
mentioned that
realize.
you mentioned that you're not good, pero Edwin Loyola just commended you. You're one of the best photographer na niya kilala. Talaga, you're just humble. Edwin Loyola.
Hindi. I learned. Hindi. You learn through the years that because it's the sensor that is taking the camera for you, that's
Yeah.
why you have no control of the photographs that you're taking.
Yeah.
So when I like to join a club at that time, I cannot join. And Bobby Paterno, when I was introduced to the Camera Club introduced me to all the photography techniques.
Yes.
At the same time, one thing that I love most because I'm a techie guy, technical about camera.
Yeah.
So that's another of my expertise and my hobby. I really like to be part of that club. Imagine you have a Leica lens, putting it in a Sony A7.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really something different, right? And it's
Correct.
very challenging, right? And putting basically, let's say, a Voigtlander lens into a Nikon body,
Mm-hmm.
or you can put basically a Leica M lens to
So
a
you're
Sony
enjoying
and
an
do
experiment.
autofocusing.
So like a camera
Something
scissor.
like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, the brand of camera is actually irrelevant. No? If you ask me now, because you've seen, of course, it give you an advantage if you use a good, let's say, use a Noctilux or maybe the APO Summicron. But of course, that advantage can be negated if you don't know how to take it properly. Also, diba? So it also
Agree.
techniques at the same time, gadgets at the same time. If you have both and you're expert in post processing, you have it all.
Mm-hmm.
But you still have one missing elements, your subjects, composition and subjects. Diba?
Yan.
Okay, let's say you have the best camera, you have the best technique, know-how, post-processing, but you cannot travel because you maybe you don't have the time. You don't have the time. A lot of them have the money, have the best camera, even they have the Hasselblad, the Phase 1, but they don't have the time to shoot. So those are things variable that you need to play around, in short. So I guess that's become a photography is either your hobby, both like what Jaime is doing now, or it can be in between. But
The way I say it nga sa ano niya, alam niyo, the way I say it nga do sa group niyo, photography is more of an outlet for you guys. Hindi nyo kailangan karirin eh. Kasi nga, you have your day job, you have the business, you have work. Why make it more complicated? So this is photography is more of an outlet for you guys to relax and have that camaraderie. Yun.
All right.
But
Now
there's,
that
there's
we've
one
heard-
thing, no? I
Yeah,
just like to
sorry.
add. There's one thing
Yeah.
also. In the balance of life kasi, I learned through the years is one thing is you need to have a right, what do you call this? A right hobby to keep you healthy.
Oh yeah, true.
You need
Agree,
also
totally agree.
another right hobby to keep your creative juice running, and then
Okay.
another hobby to make you money. I think you need that three hobby in life,
Oh yeah.
and that's you have a
nicely
balance
said.
life.
Nicely said, Sir Gary.
Nicely said.
Well said.
Maki, could you still
Gary.
remember that? Kilala natin ko.
For 2022.
Loko. Wag tayo
Pero,
mapapasok. No, but
pero may
it's good
isa
to hear.
dito, Maki, I think akala niya nakatakas na
Nakalusot
siya
na siya,
sa...
no?
akala
Nilas-
niya hindi.
nilas nga natin siya,
Hinuli
diba?
ka lang namin, Annabelle. Kala mo katakas ka. So, we have to know how you and paano ka napasok sa Camera Club of the Philippines and how you,
And what
pero
was the,
before,
what was the
before,
bridge that you
I
met?
know your history kasi na-interview ka na namin.
Jaime.
Yeah. So, natanong na namin your, but I'll go back to Jaime first. Jaime, what's your specialization in terms of photography? The type of photography you're doing? So, more in structural and landscape? Am I correct?
Good question, Park. Truth is, right now I'm trying to focus on emotions and the moment.
Okay.
Yes,
So
the
that's gonna
street
be one
photos that you
portraiture
see.
yan. Yeah.
Okay. Human interest. So,
Yes, environmental portraits. Something that tells a
Yes.
story and enjoying the edit after. So
Yeah.
like what Garrick
Okay.
said, you can have the best equipment, but if you don't have the inspiration, you don't
Yeah.
have the luck going out, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And there's something that Garrick didn't tell you also.
Why?
I admire him that he slows down when he shoots. Ever since he got that Leica, he's a craftsman. He thinks about what he wants to shoot,
Yeah.
and he purposely slows down. And the best part about Garrick, he's not your poser. It's like somebody who will buy a Leica, like, oh, look at me, I am so millionario.
I like you. I like you.
Narinig niyo yan, ha?
So that's a real
Hindi,
shooter there
it's
for
just
you.
basically, guys, translate ko yan ha. Ang camera, hindi bling-bling. Okay? So basically, it's
sinasabi sa
not an
leeg.
ornament, it's not jewelry, it's a tool to create things. So hindi
Yes.
display. So, yun.
Yan
Nakakatawa
yung
yun.
pahabaan
That's
ng
your
lente.
Meron yan, marami yan. Laging meron yan, hindi nawawala yan. I don't know bakit. Sino ba kasi nagpauso ng ganong sistema kaya nawawala tuloy. Actually, that's the thing. Actually, yan yung my sentiment until now. Lalo, plus social media, yan yung nangyari. Kaya nga, the fun in photography sometimes nababawas is because nahaluan na ng, ayan, iba-iba, di ba? Mali yun na. Gary, how about you? What's your specialization? Exact specialization, type of photography you're doing?
If I may add, no? Kasi, honestly, when you join the Camera Club of the Philippines, when you're a pro B, before you become a member, every year, you need to shoot different genre. From black and white to landscape.
You're definitely gonna go out your comfort zone pala
So,
dito.
for you to basically be like a regular member after maybe a year or two, you already have passed through the different genre, including all the spot competition that you travel together. So, at least at that time, you already may not be an expert, but you already somehow can
You
shoot
have an idea how to do things.
You already shoot
Yeah.
different genre already. Yeah, you have passed through that. Yeah.
Hindi na
And
newbie.
then, of
ganun.
course, there are people that are expert on certain fields.
Yeah.
also, diba?
Wait, if I may pick up from what Sir Garrick has already mentioned. So they did mention that okay, you have to be sponsored to get in. That's your first in. That means one foot is already on the door.
Yeah.
And then you have to be screened.
Hello, foot.
Yes.
And
It's
then
only
you
a
are
finger.
on a
It's a finger
probationary
just
status.
inside.
And then he mentioned that it would take about a year before you even become a regular member. So imagine
A year or two. A year or
A year or two, depende sa
before you
performance
can
mo.
become a regular
Okay, guys.
member.
You guys are serious, right? 2 years talaga. You're not pulling our leg. Talagang galok at grabe ang screening sa loob.
I think it took
No?
me 16 months.
16 months.
15, I think
God.
15 to 16 months before I become a
Kasi
member.
You see? But it works for
Assuming wala
them.
kang absent,
Wala pang
Wala
pa
kang
yun?
absent.
Oo.
At saka,
Yun. If you absent, then you have to at 1
Plus
month
one.
every absent. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
Oh!
umabot. Yeah, that's why
Alright.
umabot ka na 16 months.
pay.
No,
Ano masasabi nga?
Wala
Ngayon
na,
pala.
Yung question ko lang, Papi,
what
what if yung mga nasa ibang
Nasa ibang
lugar,
bansa.
like Cebu, Mindanao, or ibang bansa like
Walang
us,
member
OFW?
from outside Manila.
Wala.
So more or
No,
less,
wala
nasa
from
Manila
Manila.
lang
Wala na
talaga.
tayong pag-asa ka.
Dude, if you're from Cebu or Davao, you have to travel to
Fly,
to
yeah,
go
yeah.
to the meeting.
Fly, yeah.
Gamarts,
Okay.
it's CCP. I guess a plane ticket doesn't really is not a problem.
Shoot nga sila may helicopter, papi, di ba?
Okay, mamaya natin. Mamaya, alam mo, yung mga storya na yan, we will clear them with them. Kasi nga, again guys, tandaan nyo. I'll give you this is CCP on the other side. Okay, how people look at you. Grabe itong mga to. Ito yung siguro panag-ibig. Tara, kapi tayo, pero wala sa Pilipinas yung mga yan. Yung mga ganon. Yung ganon ng mga story sa inyo. Kasi no one knows you. Okay? No, they know the Camera Club, how elite, how the group is so nakakatago. So there was nandun na yung mga parang so they're making stories up or creating their parang this is CCP. So So now this is the time to sabi yun nga. Hindi biro talaga, guys. So nakikita na natin, umpisa pa lang tayo na wala pa tayong first hour pa lang natin. Yung nga lang, pag mayroon na nga hindi gusto, they don't like your face, you're out. Kaya ka, Maki, I have to disagree with you na you're 1 foot. And no, it's not a foot, it's a finger. Dude, pag ayaw nila, mukha mo. Hawak ka pala dito. I don't like you.
Ka pa lang ng doorbell.
So that's why I know why Jaime papasok. Kasi he's a smiley guy. Imagine, nakangiti lagi. So, that's plus, diba?
Okay.
Si Romel na nakita mo, diba?
Okay. Alright, babalik tayo. So, you've asked Sir Jaime
Garrick,
and Sir Garrick
Bob.
their specialization. Sir Bob.
Yeah. Ako, I'll make a guess. Kasi since 1972, he's been shooting his family na I guess mukhang kaya binigyan siya talaga ng camera para gawin siya photographer ng family. Why is that nga ba lagi? No? Lagi yung role ng photographer. Pamilya lagi. Pero what's your specialization, Sir Bob? Aside from human interest?
No particular area. I just want to take photos of anything that pleases the eye. A lot of my friends, they appreciate, let's say, my travel photography because their comments are, that's nice because we get to travel with you. We see places which otherwise we don't see. I mean, they can read.
Yeah, it's true.
Ako kasi, when I travel, I take specific shots of interesting things. Hindi lang yung I'm past that age na basta kuha ng kuha. Mamimili ka na eh.
Sunugan ng shutter.
You choose already. Kamukha ni Annabelle. Si Annabelle, ang biyahera din yan. So, it takes a lot of
Annabelle is
babalikan natin yan, di ba?
Annabelle would be the epitome of photography addiction. Yun yung best.
Going back to your question, in my bodega, I've got hundreds of photos of animals, of people, buildings, of ang hindi ko lang kinukunan ng sunset at saka sunrise. I'm sick and tired of that.
The simplest pa yung pinaka-ayaw mo.
I mean, everybody takes photos of sunrise and sunset. So,
siguro
parang siya araw-araw.
Cellphone lang, talo ka sa mga sunrise at sunset nila.
Parang si Sir Bob yung
I take everything, I see people, interesting people, I take photos of them. Of course, with permission. I see nice buildings, I take photos of them. I was on a safari, so I took hundreds of photos of animals.
Nice. Yeah.
Animals, okay? So, ganon. So, walang special area. Landscape, pag napunta ka sa isang lugar, may landscape kuha. Okay?
Yeah.
Yun yung common thing yun, no? Hindi kayo naka-focus lang sa isang genre. It's basically it's an all-around thing. It's probably part of what the club did for you, which is good. Why? Hindi kayo constrained sa isang
versatile.
Very versatile. Sobrang versatile.
The diversity is there.
Well, the extreme there, PARC, is if you're a professional, puro portraits ka or puro wedding ka.
Maninibago.
May specialization ka. Food. Sa Camera Club, food photography. Yung kanyang specialization. Nothing of the sort for me. Basta kung anong maganda.
Pero but you get to learn the other genre because of your colleagues inside who might be para excelling on that type of genre. Yun yung maganda naman sa club nyo, di ba?
The contest and also the monthly contest. Bids are always different genre.
Yes.
just recently, like 3 months ago, I kung maganda siguro mag-portrait photography. Buti na lang andyan si Shopee. So I bought a lot of these mga lights, mga kung ano yan, backdrops. And sabi ko sa daughter ko, come here, I'll take a photo of you po. Nagustuhan niya. Dinagay niya sa Facebook. I mean, wala akong alam din sa photography, portrait photography, pero maganda lumabas. Of course, tinulungan ako ng konti ni PARC. Tinulungan akong konti. Hindi, may partner siya ito sa, nakalimutan ko na yung studio. May pinuntahan ako nung kinunan namin yung isang magandang artista. So, nakakuha ko, nakulot ako, pero hindi ko talaga, I didn't pursue the line. But I remember that. So now, I'm buying mga lights and things like that. Mga Shopee prices hindi mga Leica prices ito.
Walang lights ang Leica. Walang lights.
Walang voucher.
Different brand yun. Mga brown colors. Ibang brand yun. Mga lights.
Okay.
All right. So while waiting for Annabelle, I'm just curious. I guess being part of that club doesn't require you to have a specific type of brand of camera. Any brand is welcome, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Any brand.
Trivia. Trivia. As one master photographer of the club said, ito trademark nito, hindi sa pana yan, sa Indian, something like that.
Wala sa pana yan. And he became a master photographer. He became a master photographer using my brand of camera. So I can be a master photographer also. Kasi pareho. Yeah.
Hindi Leica.
That person is. No, I think we all know who that person is.
Yan.
Na nagsabi
You know him.
Yeah. I think
Nasaan na si Annabelle mo?
Chasing lights din yun. The chasing lights.
Baka order pa si Belle.
Naiipon ang question mo sa'yo, Annabelle. Anyway, guys, so Maki, nasan na tayo? Sige, balikan natin si Bella. So, okay, pero so nandun tayo sa history, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Then a little bit of the history.
Then let's go do tayo sa screening nga ng newbie. Let's dwell on that first before we proceed. So, Gamers, before I proceed, you have any questions for them?
Wala pa, Pi. Ganun lang din yung screening ng mga newbies. Paano
You're curious na pati rin kung ano yung It's like feeling ko parang bootcamp nangyayari sa kanila.
Ano yung nakikita nila na potential yung taong yun to be a member?
No,
kasi tatanungin ko rin for the president kasi a question sige. The purpose of the screening or the probation is what? Checking out how good the photographer is or how serious he is dun sa craft or just being joining. Ano yung pinaka main goal nung main purpose nung
Well, the main purpose is you have to be serious in joining the club.
Serious. Okay.
Second, you have to enjoy photography, right? And then, of course, you have to, in a way, how do you now mix into the club? Because our club has a very different diversity.
It is.
People. So we need to test if that new member can. What do you call this? The right word? Merge into the club without any problem. Meaning it has to be that transition has to be smooth. In short, I guess that's and then because of like you mentioned, because of that transition, then the club can withstand to the next century. Kasi imagine if you have just anybody coming in, and ang objective na is different. It can be I coming in because I want to promote a camera, or I coming in because I want to look for connections, or coming in because I want to have a different agenda. So we want to check if we have the right objective in joining the camera club. At the same time, if it's a perfect fit for the club. So 2 ways, I think that's the main objective.
Ako, sir,
I agree with that one.
May question ako, pero this is gonna be one of those para devil's advocate question. Is net worth part of the screening process? sa pagpasok
Network?
sa club?
Net
Net
worth.
worth.
Net worth.
Net worth.
I don't think, because I got to be a member without
Mm.
getting the right network. Initially, I don't have the
Yeah.
network, no. So it so
Okay.
happened, I'm lucky that I have a Rotarian who
Sorry guys,
co-members,
nawala
who's a
ako.
member.
No,
It's
no
okay,
problem,
Diba?
That's how
Annabelle.
I got
Yeah.
inducted into the club.
Okay.
So I guess,
Naubusan ako ng battery.
Sige lang, Bel. Yeah.
and then I think the rest, it's up to me. After he introduced
Okay.
me, and then he said, "Oh, Garrick, na-introduce na kita, so na-endorse na kita. The next is you have to prove yourself that you are worthy members." In
Okay.
So, you,
fairness.
whoever,
in
ano,
fact,
no?
the saddest part of it is hindi niya ako nakita naging member. Kasi he got
Oh.
sick
Yeah.
the following year.
Ah.
Mhm.
Very sick, in fact. And then,
Can I add to
the
that?
month I'm going to be inducted, I even called him up. He said, "Gary,
Yeah.
congratulations, but I'm really very sick. I'm actually bedridden." So I was surprised, no? Kasi, I mean, so that's my saddest part. No? I didn't get my my sponsor,
Your sponsor,
to witness me to become a member.
Your induction to the membership. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, grabe ano. Kasi ang pressure mo, once you're in, ang pressure mo is so hindi mo mapahiya yung sponsor mo. So may pressure ka rin doon eh, kasi that's part of the pressure. You have to prove it to the people, plus ayaw mo rin mapahiya yung sponsor mo kasi siya nag-vouch for you. So
Okay. And then Sir Bob was trying to mention something. Sir Bob, you wanted to add something.
I'd like to add some more things because
Yeah.
I look upon the probationary period with Camera Club
Mhm.
as a learning experience on 2 or 3 different aspects. Number one, you're given, forgive the word, the dirty work.
Yes.
In order for you, as Garrick said, to learn the ins and outs of the club. How
Yes.
to score, how to display the photos, etc.,
Mhm.
and how to set up the venue.
Yeah.
And then you're also asked, okay, and this is very important. You're asked to know all the members.
Yeah.
By
oh
name.
yeah, I heard about that. I heard
Yes.
about that.
Very tough. That's very tough because people with poor memories like me.
Me. Oy, di ba
I'm poor in remembering faces and associating them with names.
Yeah.
Nakakaano yun. Very important kasi maraming pwede ka bumaksak doon kasi sabi nga ni Gary,
just the name. If you forgot one, how many members are we talking about, Sir Bob, during the
100
time?
plus.
about 100,
100
but the active ones during
Mga
the
90.
before the pandemic was about siguro 80, 70,
Okay.
80. Yan. And you're
Marami pa
supposed
rin
to-
yun para tandaan yung pangalan.
Marami. Una eh.
And also to that,
Hanggang ngayon, marami pa akong hindi matandaan eh. But they're
Yung
not
anak
very-
ko nga, hindi ko matandaan pangalan eh. Yung diba?
Pero sir, do you have limits sa number of members per year?
Oo.
Yes,
Meron,
yes.
meron
We have
limit.
limit.
So you
number
have
of
a
probi.
buffer. Parang ito yun.
Like two
Except-
probi a
Except
year.
during our time. During
Two
our
a
time,
year.
They were
Yeah, and
there
then
were
they added
15
around like 3 to
there were
4
50
years.
candidates during our time.
Okay.
during their time, yeah.
Maganda naman sa amin kasi marami nagtatrabaho. Can you imagine if there are only 1 or 2 of you in the probationary, you will do all the work? Mahirap. Eh kung 50
okay.
kayo, dami yung paghahati at trabaho.
Yeah.
Maganda.
Sige.
Natutuwa. Na-excite
what's
ako
the
talaga si
percentage?
Annabelle sa si Jaime. Silang dalawa tandem dito. Yung buhay newbie. So I'm really curious about kasi
Mamaya
Bob and
babalikan
Garrick
natin
would
yan,
be para ano na to eh. Para ano sila eh. Relax na sila dyan eh.
Yes.
Pero sila, Annabelle and Jaime would be the new blood here eh. Compared to
Pero babalikan natin na. May pa-follow up lang ako. Sir Garrick and Sir
Annabelle,
Bob.
correction, Annabelle is not the newbie. He's our OTS queen.
OTS.
Competition queen.
always consistent.
Okay. Sige, dadagdagan natin na question si Annabelle. Ayan, Annabelle, hindi ka na.
May ipon na. Pero
Thank you,
pa-follow up lang.
Garrick. Thank you.
Alright. Since you mentioned that there are limits yun nga, sa membership sa pagpasok sa probationary, what's the percentage dun sa nagpo-probationary that would be inducted as a regular member versus dun sa percentage na sorry, you will not make it to this club. Ballpark. Is it half?
No, two or one members nga doon nagiging
Two or one.
One or two lang
sa
a
mga
year
probation. Kung mga 16, 15, mga 2 or 1 lang daw nagiging regular.
Hindi, dalawa lang
Hindi,
yung
probation.
Ano talaga.
Dalawa lang pala
Proby
nagiging
nila, dalawa lang.
proby. Oo, dalawa lang nagiging
Per year.
proby. Sa 16 to 15 candidates.
Ako,
Kasi along the way, usually marami nagda-drop out.
Yeah.
bumibigay. Ayaw na.
Yun yung sinasabing di kinaya.
So it's a boot it is a boot camp. It is a boot camp. So kasi ka it's grabe, it would test your skills, it would test your personality, emotional and mentally kung hindi ka
Equipment.
equipment, yeah. Saka lagi hygiene kasi nga dapat nga type niya mukha mo, di ba? Pero Annabelle, so
explains yung longevity ng grupo kasi pag nagbuhos ka ng more effort na pagpasok mo, syempre ayaw ko talagang umalis diyan kasi
yeah, that's why guys sabi ko sa you would really take it seriously. You would again cherish being a member. You're not gonna fool around kasi pinaghirapan mo yung pagpasok eh. It was not just handed off na, hey, pasok ka. Member ka na namin. O ikaw na top photographer next year. Yung mga ganun. Parang,
gusto ko rin malaman
pero
paano
yun,
sila pumipili ng potential na tao.
Hindi, yun nga because you have a sponsor. May sponsor ka eh.
There has to be a sponsor from the current.
Yeah, katulad pa yan. May tumawid sa likod ko.
But
Ano yung criteria
for example,
mo na
Maki, siguro yung
siya?
ano ni Sir Pay, yung for example, ikaw mag-sponsor ka, maghanap ako ng pwede to siya. Ano yung makikita mo sa tao na potential siya?
Tanungin natin. Okay,
Dapat
let's talk. Kasi, Bob, did you sponsor anyone already or wala pa?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, sir.
Wala pa.
Did you sponsor? Wala pa. Sir Garrick, how about you, Sir Garrick? Did you sponsor anyone?
Wala pa rin.
Wala pa.
Wala ka talagang mahirap talaga.
Papi Romel, may pag-asa ka pa.
Okay, question. Anyone from the regular member could sponsor? Or meron certain degree level of member ang pwede lang mag-sponsor?
May rules tayo dyan, PARC.
May rules.
May rules dyan. Sasagutin ko siya.
Sige, Jaime.
5 years ka as a regular member in good standing.
Good
That's
stuff.
what I mean. Good standing. Good standing kaming grade.
Alam nyo, ganito dapat pumili ng presidente ng Pilipinas. Ganito kahirap eh.
Kalma lang.
At least we understood that. We understood that. Na yun nga, talagang the screening itself is gonna be a big boot camp, really. Up until
it is.
Okay. So,
Recommendation
babalikan
pa
pa rin natin yan, ha? So, babalikan pa rin natin kasi naipon lahat yung question kay Tita.
Ayun pa na, Annabelle, are you ready to answer all the questions?
Go,
Ready ka na ba?
OTS Queen, go!
Alright.
So, ano pang itatanong ba?
Lahat tatanungin na namin kasi naipon sa iyo eh. So, focus na kita kahit ayaw mo, ha? Sige.
Tita Annabelle, the questions were...
Okay, unahin muna natin. Well, let's not talk about how you started photography since we know that. Let's talk about paano mo nalaman yung club and how did you paano ka napasok? Who was the sponsor and your experience? Or Maki, sige, nagcha-chop siya.
Wala.
Tita Annabelle, can you hear?
Connection yata niya yung nag-ano.
Oo.
I-shift natin sa audio, Pops, pag i-try nyo na Romel, Kylie, fix tawag. Ayusin natin. I-phone patch natin siya. Sige, balik natin muna kila Jaime. Kay Jaime na lang. Yeah. Okay. Alright guys, I'm trying to figure out may feedback ako ha. I'll just mute you temporary ha. I just wanna figure out sino may feedback ha. Yeah. Check. Yeah. No, it's not. Alright, not you.
Hello, Ma'am Annabelle. Hello.
Baka gusto mo.
Yan, mas clear. Si Romel, clear. Si Romel, clear. Pero si PARC is nag-chat kanina.
Romel, ikaw lang gusto kausap ni Annabelle. Ayaw lang.
Nasa mic yan. Nasa microphone.
Nasa mic yan.
Nasa microphone ni Romel.
Naintindihan ko doon ni Ma'am Annabelle. Maki. Sige.
Alright, sige din, Roman. Sige, summarize mo kay Tita Annabelle yung magiging series of questions sa kanya. Doon ba yun nga, alam na natin yung why she got into photography. So, the question for Tita Annabelle would be, how did you learn about the club? Who sponsored you? And ano yung parang naging bridge niya na nakilala na niya si Sir Bob, si Sir Garrick, and si Sir Jaime?
Yeah,
when she was
ayan,
in
how
the
was,
club?
ita-transition natin nasa na si Romel? Ita-transition
Ito
natin
po.
sila ni Jaime to the point na how was the bootcamp? Silang dalawa na mag-explain. Silang dalawa. Alright?
Alright.
Oo.
Narinig niyo naman po, Mama Annabelle. Narinig niyo po clear.
Actually, isa sa PARC sa mga nag-inspire for me na makapasok
Oh, si
sa camera
PARC
club.
po.
Si PARC.
De, kinulit ko
Kasi-
yan kasi
Kinulit niya ako, sabi niya, you should be in the camera club. Sabi ko, ayoko doon because alam ko mga magagaling yung mga ganyan. Tapos
Okay.
sabi niya, you should be there, you should be there. So siya yung isa sa mga nagpupush sa akin. And then
Okay.
one of my friends, si attorney Javi Flores. Member na siya noon, proby pa nga siya proby pa siya, hindi pa siya naging
Yeah.
permanent. He was inviting me, talagang pumasok. Sabi ko, ayoko talaga. You know what he did? Siya pang gumawa ng application ko. Siya yung nag-submit.
Oh!
Oo, ganun nga gusto niya ako
Hindi, kasi,
makapasok.
pero Maki kasi, ito yun I'll give you the backstory. Bakit ko pinush si Annabelle? Annabelle is a student plus
Okay,
naging
ikaw
good,
na.
really good,
Ikaw
good
na.
friend, really good friend, naging good friend yan. Tapos, I was monitoring her progression through landscape and portrait. To the point na nakikita ko na bored na siya sa ginagawa niya kasi nga, he's doing good already. Now, sabi ko, you wanna prove yourself kung ano talaga ang how you rank yourself to other people, kanong kagaling ka na. Put yourself in a group na matcha-challenge ka.
Okay.
And one of that was Camera Club of the Philippines, sabi ko. Kasi I'm a friend of Fortune, so I guess you know Fortune na naging member niya.
Yes.
Marivic Silva, so she's also a friend. Sila nakalimutan ko yung mga ibang kasama. Marami ko kaibigan sa loob sa inyo. And sabi ko, Annabelle, huwag kang matakot, try mo. Push ko. Talagang ang kinulit ko ng kulit yan. Kinulit ko yan.
Sobrang kulit.
So,
Sobrang kulit ni Park sa akin.
kasi I want her to grow para makita lang yung hindi. Well, I do that to my good friend. Sorry, Romela, you're not. Joke. Anyway, so Camera Club of the Philippines was, sabi ko, if you really want to push your skills to a different level and you want to check it
You
out,
have to join. Yeah.
you have to join.
Okay.
Not
And I
ako,
was thankful.
but I don't know kung ano yung hindi ko pa alam na ganun kahirap pumasok. Because for me, when I was club, I'm part of a club too, pero for me, a club is a club. Pero hindi ko alam how prestigious, how hard your club was.
Yes.
Then until when Annabelle went back to me, sabi niya, Park, ang hirap na maging proby. Bakit? Ano ginawa? Kwento niya, ay ko mahirap nga. Sorry hindi ko alam na gano'n. So,
There was a point na ayoko na.
that's the summary.
There was a point ayoko na sana.
Yeah.
Yung mga
Okay.
siguro on my 6th month, parang ayoko na kasi parang it's like a fraternity. Parang yung mental mo talagang aanuhin kanila, talagang
They're
to
testing
make
it.
you quit. To make
Mhm.
you quit. And then, of course, the physical, yung lahat ng ginagawa for the operation of the club, ikaw yung gagawa lahat. So,
Jaime, so that's the time yung 6 month niya, kasama ka na niya doon, Jaime, right?
Later
hindi
on,
pa.
nung pumasok
Later
ako,
on na.
patapos na si Bell nun eh.
Oh,
Tapos ako nag-training sa kanya. Ako nag-training.
so siya nagpahirap sa'yo, baliktad na ba?
Kailangan ko na ipasa tong trabaho ko sa'yo. Dapat maipasa ko na to.
I'm just curious, guys, how hard just to be a probie? Rated to 1 to 10 and ang complete siguro ang pinakamahirap is 10. Rated to a certain number. I don't wanna ask, hindi ko sasabihin ng one word baka iba sagutin niyo. So gagawin ko lang. So, sorry.
May pasok mo yun, ha?
I'm using numbers 1 to 10. Ay, wag mo sana baka puta tayo. Nagbibiro lang ako. So it's all around.
Annabelle.
So Annabelle, 1 to 10. How hard is being a probie?
It's very
Highest
hard for
stand.
me. Yeah, it's very hard for me kasi I was a probie leader. Ibig sabihin, ako na yung top na ma-operate ko yung club. So anything na may mangyari during the operation, during the contest and everything, sa akin babagsak 'yun.
Putok
So
oh.
parang,
God.
kaya yung mga staff, yung mga kasamahan ko, talagang bugbog din sila sa akin kasi I want it done right.
Okay.
isa yan si Jaime.
Wait, okay, sige.
Maki,
Pwede natin
kindly play devil's advocate here, Maki. Alamin mo ngayon anong pangpahirap ginawa ni Tita Annabelle sa kanila.
Oh yeah, pero i-rank natin kasi syempre hindi sila sabay-sabay doon sa probationary period eh. So let's start with Sir Bob. Sir Bob o si Sir
Garrick ang nauna? Mas matagal na yata.
Mas una,
Either way, halos pareho sila ng year. Yeah.
Okay.
Mas
So
una
Sir
si
Bob,
Bob.
during your proby period, sino yung parang seniors at that time?
What do you mean, the leader or?
Yeah, the leaders for that.
Ako senior in terms of age.
Oh,
I must have been, I don't know, I must have been the oldest yata in our batch. But the leader, our leader then was, I forgot.
It's okay.
Yao,
Sir, hindi naman na magiging reason ng pagkatanggal mo. No? Sorry
Eddie Lu yata, Eddie Lu. Eddie Lu ba? Eddie Lu Arellano.
The leader namin si Yao, he's no longer with the club What's his first name?
Eddie Lu Arellano.
Hindi, Yao.
Ian Yao.
Ian
Yao. The Leica guy. He's the Leica guy.
Okay.
He's an expert in Leica. Anyway, he was the proby leader during our time. And I think he was the youngest.
The youngest proby leader pa. Okay.
Oh, shit.
And then,
Okay.
okay, during your batch, rate it 1 to 10. How hard was it?
How was our
Your experience? Yeah.
5.
5?
5 for you.
It was not hard for others.
Pero
Okay.
sir, personality-wise, kasi you're running a business, you're a boss, tapos pumasok ka to a certain, how does it feel? I'm just trying to figure out how, for you, parang, was it a big adjustment or wala? It's just, I want this, so I'll play.
It was not a big adjustment. Well, I'll tell you, especially for those people experienced in fraternities. Okay, it's like
Okay, yeah.
you're given the work, not really dirty work. You're given the work of the club. Sabi nga ni Garrick, in order for you to learn your rules.
And grow.
But it's not really hard. It may be physically hard for old people like me. Mahirap magbuhat ng mga equipment
Equipments, yes.
Okay? But it's very easy for the younger people. And then it might be hard staying up late. Again, for the young people, minsan alas 12, hating gabi na, alauna na, nagiinuman pa yung mga bata. Kami matatanda. By the way, no. I was with another classmate then as a proby. So dalawa kami matanda. About my age. Kaklase ko Nitoy. Si Arps sana, no? But he didn't
pursue
anyway,
it.
we were the eldest. I'm older than Nitoy. But it was hard for us staying up late and, getting the equipment fixed and etc.
Yung pagdala ng mga equipment,
Again,
mahirap.
if you ask me to rate, it will be 5 because there are people who really find it very easy, like the young ones. Siguro, 9, pasok sila. Ang sipag-sipag nila, and they...
So, it's really based on the age. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of factors, no? Kung outgoing ka, madali
lang po.
Yes.
Kami mga homebodies, homebody kami, we go home early and etc. But
Sir Bob, question
yeah.
Pag pumasok ka sa club na to and you'll be part of the Pro B, what should be your mindset? What should be your attitude?
Well, the attitude that I adopted is all of them pass through this thing. Okay? So, kanya-kanyang oras lang yan.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if it's comparable to fraternities, but all of you who are members of fraternities, pasahan lang yan eh. I mean, the next batch will have a hard time, but once they graduate, sila naman ang amo.
Sila,
Yes.
sila lang.
Correct naman po.
Ganyan lang yan eh. It's a cycle, and to the young people, again, to the young people, baliwala yun. But it's more difficult really for the retired people.
The
Season.
Hindi ko alam bakit ako pumasok. I entered the camera club. Ano na ako? Super senior na ako. Malapit na ako mag-septuagenarian. When I entered.
Oh!
Well, I'm only 64 now, ha? Wala lang.
But yeah.
Well, I was really in my later years when I joined the club. So maybe I will rate it in terms of difficulty. I'll rate it high.
Okay.
Mahirap.
Okay.
Maybe for Jaime, 1 lang. Madali. Ano yan eh?
Sisiw ba kay Jaime?
Mamaya, tatanong natin mamaya.
Gusto ko malaman
natin, parang basic kayo sa Jaime eh.
Jaime,
Pero
kasabay,
Sir Bob,
bibigyan kita ng background music habang kinakwento yung ano. Gagawin natin, maalaala mo kaya yung series na sa'yo.
So we've heard from Sir Bob now. How about,
may follow
Sir
through
Garrick
lang ako, Maki. May follow through lang.
Okay, Romel, go.
Sir Bob, regarding with the age bracket, wala bang naging parang special treatment with this ganitong age, then sa mga bata, or equally treated po on the probationary period? Yung bago pala mag-probationary po.
So ibig sabihin, based on age, iba yung trabaho ng mga alright.
Saka mahirap din mag-utos na mas bata ka.
Oo nga eh.
Oo nga, parang
Sir Bob, utusan mo, yari ka.
Well, I will not be hypocritical about it, but siyempre, pag medyo matanda ka na, hindi ka naman pagbubuhatin ng mga malalaking speakers and everything like that. So in that sense, yung mga nag-uutos naman, tinitignan din, no?
Okay.
Saka, may mga trabahong mahirap. And besides, when they give the assignments, ito si Garrick, okay, IT guy. Bibigay ko na assignment dito, computer.
Something related na kaya niyang gawin. Hindi mo na.
Okay.
Bakit mo ba ibibigay sa iba na maghuhula pa? Kaya nagkaloko-loko yung isang batch dahil wala silang magaling sa Excel worksheet or whatever.
May ganun.
Yung batch namin na may mga experts sa mga worksheets at saka mga tawag doon, yung gumagawa ng mga simple programs and everything.
Yeah.
Doon ibibigay yung trabaho.
Okay.
In fact, yung mga old members even learned from the probies who came in because they have better knowledge of the times, no? The IT. Kamukha ni Garrick, yan. Magtuturo pa yan sa IT.
Okay.
Kasi mas marunong siya sa IT kaysa sa mga old members. Anyway, talagang may may babagayan na nag-uutos, no? Kung sino. Kung hasit.
Kaya alamin natin. Ngayon alamin natin yung hirap nila, Annabelle.
Behind the scene assignments. That is usually the assignment for the probies, yung behind the scene.
Yes.
So, meron kamukha namin sa batch namin, meron talagang dala-dala laging camera with the flash bulb and everything. Lahat siyang kumukuha up to now. He still does it. He's the king of BTS. We call him.
Okay.
Bibigyan namin sa kanya ng assignment and he gladly accepts it. Kung ako i-assign mo dyan, napagalitan
niya. Sayang nga, alam nyo, if our friend Bien Bautista didn't pass away, he's gonna be part of this session and he'll be asking questions. Kasi our plan was to bring him as a guest co-host rin dito. So nga, kasi he was part of your group. So yun nga, well, sadly, we lost him. Pero before, at least we got to know him. Yan naman na maganda rin. We got to know him here sa show. So yun. Anyway, so alamin natin ngayon storya nung dalawang kanila pag...
So after ni Sir Bob, so generation naman ni Sir Garrick.
Sir Garrick. Yeah, Garrick.
Go ahead, Sir Garrick.
Kung you're gonna rate, ako ba? Si Annabelle.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, Garrick.
If you're gonna ask me, I'm gonna rate it at 5 din siguro.
Okay.
Kasi
we're also coming in parang
actually, dalawa yan eh. Dalawa yan eh. I think to be a probie, you need to have the time. Number one.
Yes.
You need to have the time. So you need to put that as part of your calendar. You have to calendar it, in short. You have to put it as
Okay.
part of your working calendar, or else you're gonna get kicked out.
Because of that,
Okay. I have to make sure I
Okay.
calendar the meetings, yung mga special
Yes.
assignment. At the same time, just like what Bob said, we also respect each other.
Mhm.
I think that's one of, kasi there are times na may mga probies na medyo aloof o medyo, yun ang mga hindi tumatagal. Yun ang mga
Yeah.
hindi tumatagal.
Hindi ka po
Pero,
pwede talaga hindi
pero
sociable dyan, no? Sa group na yan.
not just sociable, but you have to have this parang we understand each other. That's what is the camaraderie
Nagbi-blend
building
Mhm.
among probies,
Yeah.
no? Parang we have like
Yeah.
a batch, di ba? We're one batch. So we
Mhm.
we help each other. Let's put it this way. We help each other to make sure we all get to become members. Ano namin eh. So
Okay.
that we have that parang
Work
we
as
don't
a
have to
group.
spit it out though, but we in our mind we have that understanding among each other.
Yes.
So we are happy when one becomes a member. Let's say,
We're
"Uy,
getting-
next
we're-
month,
we're
graduate
getting-
ka na."
Yeah.
Parang we're
Oo.
happy for you, di ba?
Oo.
Kami, 2 months pa kami, ako 3 months pa. Parang ganun eh, waiting for your
I'm,
graduation.
I'm, I'm getting I'm getting the picture ready. Pero first part pa lang ng mga Q&A natin to na
That's for
ang hirap ng pinagdala. And I have to give it to you guys that pero parang kung si Bob, si Garrick, really not really, parang hindi nila masyadong 5 ang rating eh. Pero po ang question kasi parang sila Jaime and Annabelle, it's a different type of ang hirap yung napagdaanan nila. Is it yung that style of being a probie or the rules, the filtering, was it passed on through same lang yung type ng the system? Wala namang binago yan during the progression pag-change ng president, or may nababago ba sa mga the way things runs like
Yung mga bylaw.
bylaw, yeah. Meron nababago ba, or it was carried along from the old generation ito yung standard natin?
I guess yung bylaws remain constant naman, but more on the board, no? Kasi may ibang composition ng board have different
Yes.
personalities, diba? So that might have constituted maybe a management style.
Yun yung
or reporting.
different style.
Yeah, kasi
ang malas nila, Jaime. Hirap lang dito.
Meron ako follow-up dyan.
Yun yung pinopoint out ko eh. Sige.
Follow-up lang. Follow-up ko lang.
Yeah, go ahead, Pay.
Halimbawa, for example, magbabago na ng leader ng officers. Dadaan po ulit ba sa panibagong probation for officers yun bago ka pwede ka ma-elect?
Hindi na. Continuation.
Continuation. Akala ko,
Okay.
ang malas mo pag hindi mo kasundo yung next group na yun.
Ayan. Alright. So at least we
Okay.
know that for the generation with Sir Bob. with
Okay,
this
grabe.
batch,
Alam niya,
and then the
guys,
batch with Sir Garrick,
just knowing
it's
your
a fight
style,
for them,
hindi biro kasi kayo lang gumagawa yata yun. wala pa
Ganyan
ako.
kasi,
Mukhang
Pero
there's a trick.
it's
There's a
doing
trick.
good for
There's
you
a trick.
guys, ha? Diba? Pag kasi try to imagine if other clubs would try to establish the
Incorporate nila
same
yun.
system, it would definitely bring out filter down the best of the best na talaga, kumbaga yun eh. Mawawala na yung mga tampo-tampuhan na yan.
There's a secret, no?
Yeah.
Like what Bob said, no? You need to enjoy what you're doing.
Yes.
So part of it would be the work, no? You setting up for the contest, you're doing the scoring, you're helping the judges, no? Aiding the judges and all the things, no? You're placing, and then you have to talk to the waiters, and the lightings, and the food.
Yes.
You have to coordinate. So those are the dirty part. But the good part naman is you enjoy the company of great photographers. Like you mentioned, Bien Bautista. I learned a lot from Bien Bautista. I learned a lot from Ray Ortiz. Those legends in photography like Rudy De Leon. And then you have a chance to shoot with them. Although you parang, di ba, you're probie, so you're aiding let's say, the registration. At the same time, you have a chance to shoot together with them. So you learn a lot while you're shooting. So aside from the work, you're also learning. You're also learning. Diba? You're also learning.
Okay.
So you have to enjoy what you're doing. So you have to have the right mindset. I want to join this club because of photography.
May
Yes.
politics
I
din
want
po
to
ba yan?
learn.
Mamaya tayo pupunta ng pay. Mamaya may pasok yung politics. Mamaya, alam mo, excited ka eh. Hindi progression ginagawa mo, excited ka eh. Kaya, para
Hindi,
ka,
alright.
Excitement yung
So we've heard yun nga, yung batch
sisirain
ni
mo
Sir
yung
Bob,
build up
he gave
lang
it a
ano
5.
natin eh. Oh.
Sa batch ni Sir Garrick, he also gives it a 5. Kasi meron silang mindset eh. Yan.
Hmm.
Ngayon papasok yung batch
Oh,
ni
pag
Annabelle.
Unahin natin si Annabelle kasi Annabelle went first before Jaime. Belle, tell me your sad story. How was hard? Why is it hard? Give us a just give us a sample of those things that you're not used to, pero you have to do it because you want your serious to be part of the club.
No, na timing kasi that time, yung president ko is super active. As in,
Super
I think
active.
he's the one who had all the projects, I think, among the presidents.
So
Na
masarap
even at
sumag-join
12
pala.
o'clock, Even at
Oo.
12 o'clock, he has to call me, he has to send me text, to mo, yung mga ganon. Parang it's a 24-hour on-call ka. Parang kang nurse. Yeah. 24 hours
So
on
you're like
Bakit?
Girl Friday. Parang Girl Friday ka pala
Yes.
nun sa Annabelle.
Hindi, Annabelle pa naman, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, yan yung
9 o'clock,
beauty
tulog
rest
na.
niyan yan eh. Oo,
Yeah.
unless
12
umiinom
o'clock.
lang.
Annabelle, you know you should do it. No, it's tomorrow. Oh, no, you should do it tomorrow. You should do it tomorrow. Something like that. So parang
Question lang,
Depende sa
naglaro lang otak ko. Bel, what did Ricky say kung may tumatawag sa ng mga alas 12 na gano'n?
Ha?
Nag-curious lang. Ano sabi ni Ricky? Hindi. Kasi kung try to imagine, may tumawag sa akin ng alas 12. Ang ulat tanong lang asawa ko siguro, sino yan? Bakit tumatawag yan? Tapos pag sinabi ko photography, alas 12, di ba? Sa akin yan, sa akin yan. No?
So ang nangyari, because I am so pressured, I have to go to my members like sina Jaime, anyone, you should do it. So, yun, siguro yung experience ko na yun is mga 8.5.
8.5
Oh,
na.
grabe.
Bakit na?
Medyo mahirap na.
Bago natin pasagutin si Jaime, pag ano natin, you wanna make a wild guess pag si Jaime ilan?
Kay Jaime napunta yung 10 eh. Yung 10 out of 10.
11. So yun yung hirap, Annabelle. Kumbaga, you were not just used. Yeah.
There's so many projects na ginawa niya during my
Overwhelming. It's kind of overwhelming for you.
Overwhelming, yeah. It's so overwhelming. Kasi he has to put a book, he has to have an exhibit, he has to do everything. Gusto niya lahat, ang daming project.
So masarap pala matsepa mo na tatamad-tamad yung presidente. At least wala ka masyado gagawin.
Bawal
Yung
siya
the
tayo.
next president,
Medyo
relax
petics
lang
yung presidente.
siya. So, yeah, depende
Okay.
sa president. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. Ayan.
Okay, so valid na yan, Annabelle. Kasi get ko na yan. You're not used to ganun nga. So talaga it's over kind of. Now I understand kung bakit nga mahirap for you. So let's go for yung pinakaba. You're the youngest, Jaime, right?
The youngest.
You're the youngest here, right? Yeah,
Currently.
yeah. Oh, mas
So,
matanda
rate
pa
it.
nga pala ako sa iyo.
No.
All right, Jaime. Tell us your
Go to Jaime.
So how hard siguro let's change the question. Similar still connected. What would be probably the hardest parang naging project mo, and could you tell us the story about that and why? And that almost parang push you to the point now you might give up, or you had that thought.
There's a lot, PARC, but where do I
Marami.
start?
Just
Let's start with the
choose one.
rating.
All right,
Let's start with
right.
the rating of number 9.
9.
Grabe yun.
Yes, 9. Well, kasi si Bob, madali na pag may finances ka eh. Pero pag nagsisimula ka lang, talagang todong budget ka. Hindi ko ito nakukwento sa mga ibang club members namin. Kasi nagsisimula, hindi mo alam sinong kaibigan mo. So, lagi kang, titirahin ba ako? Or kakaibigan
You
ko
have
ba?
that. Okay.
Okay, nag-gets ko na.
Okay.
Kalaban din
Sorry,
pala.
may takot ka sa simula eh. So, you get to know people. It so happened, Annabelle is one of those friends who taught you the ropes.
Oh, magaling yan.
Magaling ka si Belle. At Park, ito yung challenging para at least may context kayo sa show. Nung nagsimula ako sa Proby, wala akong kotse, nagbabudget ako, so kailangan ko pumunta sa venue, either magbabus ako or magta-taxi. So may requirements pa kami na ikaw mag-uwi ng ibang gamit.
Wala.
Sa bus? Sa bus?
Or sa taxi. Minsan,
taxi.
minsan, meron kaming malaking TV, mga 55 inches. So,
Malaking bitbiti sa bus yun, ha?
So, paano pag bumingo ka?
Okay.
Minsan kasi may assigning yan. So, na-assign sa akin isang beses TV. Sabi ko, okay, kaya ko yan. Tapos ako nag-iisip, paano kaya mag-flag mamaya ng taxi? Kung matapos kami, let's say, 11 o'clock ng gabi.
Saka ang pangit tingnan nyo, may dala kang TV ng 11 o'clock ng gabi. No? Parang ano, pag
bahay. Parang binuslit, no?
So, parang may pa tayo. Sa Rockwell pa kami, kay Chef Jess.
Imagine, you are in the upstate, Rockwell, tapos bit-bit mo TV, tapos nagpa-plug ka ng
11 o'clock ng gabi. Alam mo, what the, you know.
Sa Rockwell Mall, para maghanap.
Okay, alam ko na kung bakit panalo ka na. You got kung may price na cupcake just to make you happy, you won the cupcake right now. So, wait, hirap ka? Oo, hindi niya. I guess sila Bobby si Garrick didn't encounter that carrying the TV. Okay.
Hindi, iba na yung budget.
Different approach.
Different
naman.
Pero we all have we've been assigned to that, all of us.
Pero meron talaga.
So at least that was clear from the get-go na parang all budgets would undergo the same treatment talaga. Regardless if it's Bob, if it's Garrick, if it's...
It doesn't matter, no? Your stature in society doesn't count dito. So, yun lang. It's true. So, sa mga question gusto so isang remaining isa sa mga question, did Sobel undergo the same treatment?
Yes. Press Garrick?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely
yes.
Yes, everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone. Ambassador. Ambassador Joey Antonio. All go through.
Walang
exception.
Guys, ngayon.
May question lang po.
Wait, Robert, hold that. That's all that. Papasok ko lang to for the viewer. Now, you see, prestigious nga sila. Pero, look, everyone's doing the job. Everyone is technically equal. Walang dito, walang primadonna. Now, look at what's wrong sa nangyayari sa iba. So, nakikita, ito yun Why are they, bakit sila considered one of the most prestigious group? Simula pa lang tayo, yun na yun Nakita mo yung screening, nakikita mo yung training. Yung sa first pa lang, it's training It's training the new members to be part of a community na whether mahirap pa din, to be part or to be a team player. Yun na nga yun Hindi ka pa pwedeng, wala kang pakisama dito or hindi ka pa pwedeng solohista sa group or wala Dito pa lang.
Correct.
Kasi naranasan nila lahat.
Guys, dito pa lang I have to give, grabe ito. Yung info na to, nabigla ako kasi I was not even expecting this story na ganito kahirap. And just for people to hear that, oh my God, hindi biro hindi biro.
Yes. Biro.
Yan. Alright, sige,
Okay, Romel. Si Romel, go.
Sa akin naman, yung ko lang, sir, siyempre may mga pumapasok sa camera sa CCP na medyo VIP, yung mga ganyang klaseng tao. At could they bring assistant do sa provisionally, do sa
Oh!
diba? Siyempre, kung
not allowed.
Who wants to answer that po?
Walang alalay.
Not allowed.
Not allowed.
Well, there's certain tricks, pero inside the event, not allowed. Like for me, let's say the TV. Kasi Rockwell has a back door. So, ask my driver to wait at the back door. Tapos postcard ko, sige, lapas mo na. Ito na yung resibo to egress, ganyan, di ba? Pero hindi
Ninakaw
kita,
yan.
hindi dapat kita.
Hindi
Pero dapat hindi
dapat hindi
kita.
kita ng
Yun ang
members.
rules.
Dapat hindi kita.
hindi
Okay,
kita.
tinatago mo yun.
Grabe!
Okay,
Grabe!
President kayo niyan,
Dude, wala akong masabi sa training nyo.
Tapos yung mga equipment, kunyari, kulang. Kunyari, nakalimutan yung kable ng projector.
Oo.
Pupunta ako sa Data Blitz sa kabila ng Rockwell para bumili ng HDMI cable. O hindi, si Sante kami lahat.
Oh, shit!
May member, nakalimutan yung, nawala yung cable, nawala yung connector, nawala yung ilaw, whatever. O pundido yung isang ilaw, whatever.
Pay.
Or I call bigla, we call somebody.
Gamars. Alam mo,
malapit ka na ba
just-
sa bookstore? Walang bond paper pang print ng score sheet.
Pabili.
Magdala ka ng A4. Dali. Ganun.
See, guys, dito pa lang nakita na ng mga tao kasi all the while they thought, pag upo niyan, taas kamay, inom lang yan. Bigyan mo ka niya. Ganun eh.
Party.
Hindi.
Parang gano'n. It's
After
not
naging
It's
member
just,
ka na. After
no.
naging member ka na, ang sarap ng beer. Kasi, pinaghirapan ko to.
You deserved it. You earned
Diploma
you
mo.
earned
your spot. You need to earn your spot.
Yung unang beer, no? Yung unang drink
When naging
mo na.
member ka, di ba? Yung first day.
Member na ako.
Okay.
In fact, in the whole family, yung pati wife mo will be cheering for you. Yay, member na yung husband. Kasi you need to talk to your wife in a way that she has to understand what ito.
Bakit don't forget that question. Maganda. What was the first reaction or the fulfilling feeling and what was the scenario ng yung pagka-graduate nila? Graduate, let's call it graduate.
That's why pag nag-graduate kami, the whole family
Inducted
is
siguro
with
pa.
us.
In
Yeah.
Alright. Sige, babalikan natin yung experience yun.
Babalikan natin yan.
Alright.
So,
So far, what we've
hindi
discussed so
pa
far.
tapos si Jaime eh. Part lang, isa pa lang na story niya. So,
I-reveal lang natin for those
pero
who-
Jaime, I feel you, brother. I feel you. Tama nga, at first, bakit 9? Yes. Ako, siguro gawin sa, so gagawin na. I'm out. I'm out. Kasi sabi nga ni Sir Gary, hindi ako maartihan. Baka ma-quote So sabi ni Gary nga, nakalimutan ito yan. I have to run. Ang unang, pag ganun, sino ba pwedeng mautusan dito para bumili? So ganun na yan. Kasi it's my yun nga eh. Kaya, grabe yan.
Talagang you have to do it your own,
Self-service talaga siya.
Pero after 12 months of doing the
16,
things
yeah.
that we do in the camera club, parang grateful ka din because you know
yes,
the
and you're a
characteristic
new person after that.
Yeah, at saka yung characteristic ng mga probis na with you, malalaman mo ano talaga ugali nila. So test of personality and your character.
Okay, so Maki, so we're done with the filtering, the newbie, the history. You wanna go? Gamart, so any question? Natulala ka sa ano masasabi mo sa club mo ngayon?
Okay naman. Wala pa.
Kailangan yung pahira.
So, okay lang.
Pero nakita nyo, di ba? You could implement that. Okay, okay, guys. What was that? I guess the president and the past president could answer this. What was the main goal and vision of Camera Club of the Philippines? Of course, we've been reading some of the articles that you have that advocacy. But what was the main until now? Ano yun? Yeah.
You want me to answer, Bob? Or you?
Ako na, no?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, Sir Bob.
Okay. I'm not so well versed with the history, but my own observation is what they wanted to foster was really the camaraderie and the socialization of the members
Yes.
through the use of the camera. Okay. So, in other words, because if you look at the history of the formation of the club, there were a bunch of photographers who had a common passion.
Okay.
Of course, you can say that they wanted to improve on their talents, but basically they got together because they wanted the fellowship and the camaraderie. Now,
Yes.
if you move fast forward to the times now, we're still advocating that. In fact,
Okay.
in my acceptance speech 2 years ago, I said I want to bring back the level of camaraderie and uh, socialization that I knew the club
Mm.
had. But
Okay.
it was a difficult vision or mission because in any organization, in any club, there will always be a difference in character and meron
Yes.
kontrabida, mayroong mga kontrabida
There's the
diyan.
opposition. Yung mga ganyan, di ba?
May mga meron diyang madaldal, may tahimik, mayroong
Yeah.
mayabang, may ano.
May
It was a
may
big fight, but
marites, 'di ba? May mga marites diyan.
nobody will disagree with me that it is a good, it is always a noble objective to bring that level of camaraderie and fellowship to the highest level.
Mhm.
Okay. And camera, the real mastery of the camera or the photography will will be there, but I would say side by side yan eh.
Yeah.
You want to foster socialization or
Mhm.
friendship or something, but you also want to develop the skills. So yun,
Yes.
in short, that is what we're trying to do now. And Garrick,
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a way,
Yeah.
to remove all of this, you know, factionalism. Ano bang word doon? Yung creating faction.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I have the same passion as Bob. No? In my
Yeah.
presidency, I have 4 points that I want to
Yeah.
implement for this year. No?
Mhm.
Number one is the same as camaraderie, foster camaraderie, friendship, and good relationship among members.
Yes.
Second, I want to promote photography, not just
Mhm.
within the club, but within the country and even outside of the country. We want
Okay.
to basically promote photography, saying that the Camera Club is at the forefront of photography.
Yeah.
The third one is we, the CSR. We care, CCP care. In fact,
Okay.
the Odette, during the Odette, at the height of Odette,
Mhm.
we immediately we mobilized, and then
Mhm.
one of our members has an office in Cebu. We contacted them. We were able to send relief goods to part of
Yes.
Cebu and Bohol, and our
Okay.
member contributed to the fund, to the relief fund. So
Okay.
CCP care, and then we also plan to basically hopefully we can put up a foundation in a way, but it's still in the work, how we're
Okay.
going to make it done. And then
Mhm.
the most important thing I want to emphasize is we want to embrace change.
Okay.
There's been a lot of changes in technology, in photography
Mhm.
equipments. In fact, the full frame has become now a medium format in terms of megapixels. The post
Yes.
processing, we have AI now. No, you don't have to really think about how to mask it. Now, with one click, you can mask a
Mhm.
subject. Just
Mhm.
easy as that. No, and then all these things is already becoming a part of technology and a part of photography. And
Mhm.
then we also need to modify a lot of our rules in terms of our competition, meaning we have to
Yes.
embrace that change and be part of that our competition. So our photographer
Okay.
would be in a way moving the skill set up.
Mhm.
Because imagine that we're trained to be the what do you call this the old school of photography.
Mhm.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with it. Meaning,
Mhm.
Yup.
we are trained to take a photo, to think
Mhm.
about the photos, the technicality of all of it, the composition, before you even press the shutter. That's
Yes.
what makes you a photographer.
Mhm.
But because of technology changes now, is you can actually do a post processing in camera. You can actually there's so many
Yeah.
things you can do actually
Yeah.
using technology nowadays. So that has to also be need to be part in order to the club has to progress. Imagine now you have taking the old school techniques with the new technology and merging the two, we will
Mhm.
become more relevant to the industry and to the photography as a whole, no? Not just in the Philippines
Yes.
and in the world.
Okay.
And then another important thing, you also need to mix printing. That's what all
Mm.
forget. Photography has
Yes.
to end to end.
Yeah.
From starting with taking the photo, post processing it. How do you prepare a photograph for printing?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
different, right? What kind of
Yes.
Yep.
paper do you use, di ba? Yung
Correct.
mga red lab, yung recognition.
Yes.
In fact, if you really own a printer at home, you will understand how difficult it is just to set up the right sizing of the paper. How do
Mhm.
you what kind of role do you have, the size, how do you
Yes.
make sure that when you print it out, it's landscape or portrait, you will come out the size that you intended the size to be. Di ba? It's not
Correct.
that easy. It looks easy. Just print it out. Hindi ganun.
Mhm.
And then you have to match the editing of the post process to what kind of paper you're using.
Yes.
And before, it's difficult to get paper. But nowadays, you can order your papers in Shopee, Lazada, di ba? You can order online.
Good for
Everything,
you. So,
because of all
we
these
have to charge
things.
Lazada sa Shopee. Sobra promotion na sa inyo.
Okay, now just make we can now order online.
Yeah. No, just kidding, Sir Garrick. Alam mo, pag,
Alright. Pero, alam mo, from what, or from how Sir Garrick has explained, kumbaga parang ito yung platform niya for his presidency. Ganun dapat ginagawa sa mga interview.
exactly nga. Yan nga.
Live.
Guys,
You have your
gusto nyo,
vision,
guys,
you
pwede
have
kami,
the
pwede kami mag-host rin ng
execution.
Q&A ng mga presidential dito. I'll try to ask you question that might be relevant, di ba?
Hindi, that's how he puts it, diba?
Depende
He
daw,
has the
may manok.
vision, and he also already has the idea of how to execute it. So at least, kumbaga nabubuo niya the entirety of yung
Okay.
kanyang magiging
Now, sige. So, before I proceed, Gamars, any question, Pay? Pay, I guess nasagot na yung politics mo, di ba?
Yung sa within the group.
Maganda pag may mic ka kasi hindi ako naglilip read eh.
Nagets ko.
Get pa na, di ba? So,
Yes.
okay, Pay, ito na just to answer. Anywhere there's gonna be a, ano ba ang term natin, Maki? There's always gonna be a rotten egg within the group.
May kontrabida lagi.
Meron lagi yan. Hindi mo mawala yan. It's part of being in a society. It's gonna be, it's just how you handle it. Yun lang yan,
Yeah.
di ba?
Correct.
Di ba? Yun lang yan. So,
Laging merong Max Alvarado.
Oo, basta ano lang, di ba? One word, tapos ka na, di ba? Gamarts.
Mautak.
Yeah,
About
so,
it?
in relation dun sa mga rotten eggs, so there
Talaga gusto niya talaga mag-dwell sa rotten eggs na yan eh. Sige, ha?
Ano lang, meron naman talaga. Are there any challenges in and out of the club? What are the
I
challenges?
can answer that. I can understand. Yeah. Well, anyway, you're right. In any organization, there's rotten egg.
Yeah,
There's,
it's gonna
some
be.
problems.
There's
Members that have some problems, but
Mhm.
you have to be handled professionally. In short, you
Okay.
need to have
Yeah.
a process. In short,
Mhm.
so walang personalan. In short, let's say
Yes.
there's a complaint, you handle the
Mm.
complaint properly, di ba?
Mhm.
You go into a process. There's a mediation process and everything. There's a grievance. Let's say you have a decision. You can always say,
Yeah.
okay, you have the right to make an appeal, di ba, on certain
Yeah.
things. So that is for certain things. Now, if
Mhm.
you said that if there will be, let's say, I think there's those, ano naman eh, no, parang we're all mature professional naman eh. So
Yes.
wala naman siguro yung mga nagsusuntukan, yung mga
Wala pa.
ganun eh.
Wala pa.
Papakat sa labas sila.
Para doon kayo sa labas.
Sa
So, may
labas na
mga
lang,
ano
sa
lang,
labas.
mga misunderstanding lang naman. May mga,
Wala pa, hindi pa, wala pang physical fake pang nangyari or mga parang, nagiging
Wala
MMA
naman.
bigla, naging MMA ang CCP, no? Biglang gano'n.
More
Wala.
ano lang, may mga certain, let's say, interpretation, may
Heated
minsan mga
exchange,
contest, di ba? Parang
Yeah.
bakit mali,
Okay.
may mga misunderstanding sa
So,
interpretation of
yeah, so-
certain entries. Mga ganun lang naman.
Alright,
Okay.
that's good. It's talaga tama nga, Sir Garrick. It's just how you handle it. So, it
Yeah.
all boils up to the leader itself. Kung how he gonna handle the current, kung whatever nangyayari. Pero ito it's gonna be divided. I have a question here. It's gonna be divided into two. Siguro natin, members and officers. So, this is for Bob and Garrick and again, kay Jaime and Annabelle. Okay, what would be your the big, parang biggest challenge or naging challenge nyo sa being part of the club, so, being an officer, and how did you handle it? Yung now, I'm asking this not because I'm nosy or chismoso ako. No, it's because other clubs also encounter some problem, and they might have you might give them ideas how to handle certain
Handle.
problems. So
How to
address that. So Bob, what would be your biggest challenge as a president before, and how did you handle it? Oops. Mute.
Mute ka,
Nakamute tayo,
nakamute.
sir.
Nakamute ka.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
tough
Okay.
question. Very tough question. But since my presidency was very recent,
Mm-hmm.
my biggest problem was really, Tagalogin ko na, no?
Yeah.
Papa.
Siyempre, sabi ko kanina, sa isang club, meron dyan yung mga reklamador,
Mm-hmm.
meron din yung mga, kaibigan tayong lahat.
Mm-hmm.
Parang politics din ng Philippines yan eh. Maraming puro reklamo.
Yeah.
Yung mga iba naman, okay, kaibigan naman tayo pa magbabakbakan.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big challenge.
Okay.
Of course, as a presidente, yung how to pacify, how to
Put the fire out. Yeah.
how to establish the priorities. Ano ba priorities mo? Pag
Yeah.
ginawa mo ito, mawawasak ba yun? O tutuloy yung 93 years. So yun ang big challenge eh.
Yes.
But of course, you can always look back. No? Okay,
Mhm.
what did we do for 93 years that we are still alive?
Yeah.
Mm.
Actually, yun nga, di ba?
Organization that has survived 94 years. Maybe
Mhm.
the president, the incumbent president will think about that. And I
Oh,
think
yun na.
Maganda yun.
Garrick has an idea there.
Are we going there?
We talk about these problems eh. Yan si Garrick, lagi ko kinukonsulta yan. Bata pa, I mean, he's not really senior, but alam mo na si Garrick maraming kaibigan ng bayan niya. So, kinukonsulta ko yan. And, pinapaistorya ko rin mga difficulties nung panahon niya. I learned from that. But I share his views. That's why nagamit ko naman lahat. So, in summary, yun nga, how to deal with all of these contravidas and the people who think they're doing well for the club, but the opposite is happening. They're trying to undermine the what?
The system
The
that
thing
you
that
have.
binds us together.
Yeah.
Yung pagkakaibigan, camaraderie, etc.
Yan. Okay.
Ganda nun, ah.
Sige, Sir Garrick, continue the
May adlib sana ako. Papasok ako sana ng adlib, Maki eh. Pero magiging political yung statement ko. Baka putahan ako lang magpiestahan tayo dito. Baka last show natin to pag bumirit ako. Ayaw ko na lang. Sige, Sir Garrick, continue.
Well, my advantage kasi is according to Bob, what Bob said, no. I used to be the contest chairman way back before I become the president. No.
President, yeah.
That was in 2018, 2017, 2018. I was the contest chairman at that time, part of the board. So I have a first-hand experience to be part of a board before I become a president. At the same time, I'm also president of certain civic organizations like the Rotary Club, which is, alam mo na, it's really also very political in a way, di ba?
Yeah, it is.
So I guess I share the sentiment with Bob. We've been there for I'm the 94th, no? It's our 94th year. The club has been intact for so long, no? Of course, there's certain problem that exist, no? Well, my way is always to wait in things. I'm also a very patient guy, no? So the important thing is you don't take it personally, and then your objective has to be clear, and then meaning this is for the betterment of the club. Okay, so you need to take that into context, and then you have to translate it to your board, no? Your membership committee chairman, your contest committee chairman, and the likes, no? And even to your lifetime members. So I guess the one is communication. Okay, if there's people complaining, you need to reach out. You need to have a dialogue. Okay, no matter how it will be, whoever he is, or how angry he is, or whatever, you need to have that patient to sit down with him and talk about the issues at hand, diba? And then how do we resolve the issues at hand?
Yes.
So that's, I think, one way of resolving any conflict.
Now, that's for the offers. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think the other thing is we don't take it drastically. You don't take emotion as part of your decision making. always
Okay.
take a little time to think
Slip it
of
over
or
first.
to
Take
and then let
yung-
the situation cool up a little before you actually make decision, di ba?
Ganda yan,
Kasi
ha?
sometimes medyo galit lang eh. You make tough decision because you're angry and then
Yeah.
you make a wrong decision.
Isip-isip
So,
muna bago sumagot. Parang gano'n.
yes. Yeah,
Alright.
anyway, but it's more of the emotion, controlling your emotion. Sure.
Okay. So, sir,
Kasi this is not naman you're president of a company that you own, di ba?
Yeah.
This is basically a
That's
club
actually
that we love, no? So there's
Sir
no
Garrick,
such
no,
thing.
naging
Yeah.
tulong rin yan, no, yung the way you handle the club and your day job or whatever business, yung position mo there really help out in dealing with the things na nangyayari sa club kasi you could apply the mindset or the how professional you are outside, you could now apply that inside. So which is yun nga, majority ng group nyo are people who handles people. So, kaya it works eh. Tama ba?
And then you have to differentiate kasi in the corporate world you hold a position of authority.
Yeah.
Meaning you can exert that authority. Let's say I'm the vice president of this department. I can exert authority in that department, ba? I'm the boss,
Yes, sir.
ba? In a club like Rotary Club, Camera Club, the members compose the club. It's not because you're officer, you're a caretaker of the club.
Yeah.
Meaning you help the club, including the members.
Yes.
Without the members, there's no club. So that's the main difference between holding a corporate position and holding
Talaga
a
ni Sir
civic
Garrick,
club.
iboboto ko na to.
Oo nga eh. Hindi ba, wala ba kayo, hindi ka ba tatakbo, Sir
Hindi
Garrick
ka
or Bob?
senator
Pwede
or
naman kayo
ano?
VP. At least may maganda future.
Loko. And then, all right, since we're on the topic of being an officer. So again, this is kasi iba-batch nga natin, diba? I-divide from the officers and then the members. So as an officer, so there is one question coming from the audience. So Sir Doc Franco Basa is asking, so after the process of joining the club, so this is addressed to the officers, do you expel members?
Ano to? After, pag regular ka na, may pwede ka pang
It's either pwedeng nasa probe. I mean, probe we know that they might not get inducted to being a regular member. But if you're a regular member, and then, you know, nagkaroon nga ng, let's say for example, wag natin tawaging away, but it's more of may nagkaroon ng issue.
Disagreement, misunderstanding, or different opinions.
As an officer, meron bang nangyari or have you heard from a previous batch na merong na-expel?
Previous batch. Meron ka pa na remember,
No mentioning of names, no mentioning of names, yeah.
Si Sir Jaime tumatawa.
Alam nyo, ginagawa yung chismoso yung mga guest natin eh.
Actually, wala ko ma-recall. Wala ko ma-recall.
Pero in general, Sir Garrick, you could be expelled. Yeah, depende.
I can cite the rules kasi club has rules, di ba? There's a lot of rules. The basic rule is, do you pay your dues?
Yes.
Diba? So, of course, let's say let's say you release your dues for like 3 years, 4 years na, di ba? Subject ka to be delisted kasi you haven't been paying, di ba? That's one thing, di ba?
Okay.
Which is part. But of course, we always give palugit, di ba? Yung Tagalog, yung Filipino naman.
Yeah. Leeway,
you can pay a little, and then, di ba? I-carry mo lang yung ano mo, statement, something like that, di ba?
Yes.
Other thing can be, let's say, there's a complaint against you. So there's a process. There's a due process.
Nag-complain ka, nag-uwi ka ng TV na hindi mo pinahanap na sa'yo.
Well, that's dishonesty. Well, wala naman ganun. Wala naman ganun.
Okay.
Malaki masado para iuwi na hindi mo obvious eh.
So wala rin tayong mga, alright, so
Pero
usually,
the complaint is usually disagreement. Sometimes it's because of an interpretation of a contest rules. There's a disagreement. So, and then they file a complaint against an entry. So, normal naman yan. So, we go to a process. Pero,
so may process.
Of course, there's always a clamor. Sometimes the member will say, dapat i-expel yan kasi violated this, blah, blah, blah. So, it's up to the committee or the board to decide on the ground of the case. I think that is part of the bylaws. That is,
okay, siguro sir, ibayin natin kasi ang hirap ng sagot nun eh, pang chismoso yung nagtanong eh. So, iibayin ko yung question ha, mas madali. What are the normal cause of someone leaving the group?
Leaving the group.
Yeah,
Well,
it's either are they
Or
busy
inactivity
or
sir.
they just give up or they parang normally kasi ang point ng question ko rin here kasi
yeah.
that's it's gonna be your role now how to convince him to stay now. So if it's para he lost interest already or para I'm not getting
I
getting
don't feel like I'm getting the growth that
proper
I need from
or
this
para
club.
mga
Parang
gano'n,
ganon.
'di ba? So I'm asking that para to see ano yung parang counter offer or whatever you do for that member para just to stick parang gano'n pa.
Well, simple eh. We're the Camera Club of the Philippines, di ba?
Mhm.
It's so difficult to get into our club, di ba?
Yeah,
So
I
I
know.
guess it's not really the issue about leaving the club.
Tama
So
na.
if there's people who's thinking about maybe leaving, there's many things. For example, we have a member for so many years, si Tilak Tige. He's
Mhm.
moving to Washington D.C. because of the COVID, because he's a Sri Lankan
Commitment ang
citizen.
magiging problema niya pala.
There's a problem for his citizenship because he's applying
Yes.
to the US. So I guess he taking a leave of absence, di ba?
Yeah.
Some of them can be their profession. For example, certain years they become the president of a company. They say, okay,
Yes.
magkano muna ako kasi I don't have the time to actually to spend for the club. No? So in
Yes.
fairness to the club din, di ba? There are also others that are maybe there's a disagreement and then they feeling na parang frustrated sila and then
Mhm.
they just say, oh, sige, di na muna pagpapakita, di ba? Yung mga tinitampo, di ba? Konti, di
Yeah.
ba?
May
So
ganun.
maybe it's about the set of officer, how to, you're right, how to win them back, di ba? Ika nga, sige.
Okay.
Yun nga,
Correct.
yun yung, para mas
Mabihira
mahirap.
naman, no? Para hindi tayo magkaiba dito.
Saka parang ang babata na natin, magkaganito pa tayo. Yun eh.
Pero
Park,
sige,
So it happened.
Yeah.
May positive
So,
naman
it
ako para
happens.
dyan.
Meron.
Pero sige, bago natin i-hear yung side mo, Sir Jaime. So, Sir Garrick, theoretically lang to So, say for example, meron nga talagang nag-decide na, yan nga, since you already don't have the time and you cannot even commit anymore, and then you
Oh, yeah.
left the club, as in talagang,
You could file a leave of absence. Tapos
parang
when you go
ganyan.
back, hindi ka ba magiging proby ulit?
probing
Or
ka na ulit, or you undergo the same process of
Yeah.
the
I think there's two
revouching
kinds,
kasi
diba?
nga, yeah.
Tama ba, Jaime? There's two kinds eh. If you officially take
Yes.
a leave of absence, you can always come back.
Go
Officially.
back.
If you just officially
Pag
take a
awol,
leave of absence,
pag
if
awol,
awol, you have to, I think, subject to the approval of the
Subject
committee.
na, okay.
Oo.
akala ko may MP ka eh. Parang
awol
military
kasi-
po.
AWOL.
Oo.
Oo eh, di ba?
Wall eh. So pwede naman you could take as long as valid, is the health reason, family reason, pwede naman and you go back. All right. So that
This has to
okay,
be
let's go.
approved. This
Yeah,
has to be
okay.
approved. Yeah.
Ganun siya yung mga
May
naisip na
may
ni mga
process
nauna.
pa rin.
Yeah. So, pwede, Maki, pwede. Pero ang namang problema ka pa sa paglibid, hindi ka tayo makakapasok. Ito yung pala.
Nakikita lang naman tayo, di ba?
Yeah. Pero this is for Jaime and Annabelle na. Now, kasi the question was for the officers. Now, just being a member muna tayo. Let's go for the simple. What's the pinaka hardest thing that you have to undergo as a member, and you just have to how did you fix it or how do you handle it? So, Annabelle, nakamute ka, ma'am.
Nawawala
Yeah.
Yeah.
ka. Nawawala
Yeah.
ka.
Maki, kali ask, baka sa'yo mag-clear.
Alright. So, Tita Annabelle, can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly, Tita Annabelle?
Oo, okay.
Alright,
Alright,
go. So, the next part of the question is being a member, being a member. So, the first part of the question was addressed to Sir Bob and Sir Garrick as an officer. So, these are their challenges or parang what they had to face or had to complete as an officer. Now, being as a member, what were your challenges or parang ano yung mga cite ng examples ng ito yung sinasabi natin na as a member, ito na yung kinakaharap ko sa club, and then were you part of, say for example, part of the mediation process na tumutulong kayo sa officers to pacify or to put out the fire kung halimbawang nagkakaroon ng mga differences in the opinions, especially if yun nga, mention nga ni Sir Garrick na hindi naman may iwasan yun eh. It's an organization like any other else. So, go ahead, Annabelle.
As a member, pag may mga differences yung mga ibang members,
Yes.
kami, like me, for example, kakausapin ko both side, makikinig lang ako, and then,
Okay.
ang gagawin ko, I will say kung ano yung dapat gagawin. But usually kasi pag may mga ganyan, yung mga ang board na an officer ang talagang nag-handle ng mga ganyan. So we don't,
Okay.
we don't involve ourselves kasi ayaw namin masama doon sa
Yun yung pinakamagandang
conversation na yan.
nasabi niya.
Walang marites, walang marites,
Walang
tolit,
sausaw. Anong marites?
Ano marites?
Marites.
Mare, ito ang latest. Siyempre, giveaway
wala
stage
nang
yung
sulsol
iba.
mga marites.
Oo,
Alright,
diba?
sige.
Yeah, because we parang ayaw naman naming makisali because we know that the board will solve the problem. So kami,
Okay.
parang tumitingin lang kami.
Alright.
Yeah.
Ganda yun, eh. Wag na lang kayo makialam kung may gulo. Kasi makisali pa kayo sa gulo.
Mare,
Yeah.
sabi ni ganito,
Makinig ka
sabi
lang.
ni ganito, ganyan,
Makinig
no?
ka lang, yeah.
Hindi,
Makinig ka
actually,
lang.
totoo. Yeah, makinig ka na lang. Huwag ka na makinig ka na kwento mo sa kabila. Yung mga ganun. Iba yun eh. Diba? Lalo na lang. Si Jaime, alam mo, si Jaime ang maraming dala dito eh. Ikaw, Jaime, pag kami nag-concentrate sa'yo, maiipit tayo pare-pareho dito.
Marami siyang ginagawanan, so marami siyang alam.
Oo. Siya yung overseer eh, numalang yan. So he noticed everything. Okay, Jaime, what was the biggest challenge for you as a member in the club? And how are you able to overcome it or parang naayos mo siya?
The biggest challenge is when you become too important. When everyone would look for you because they love your service. And for every year, they would want you to be part of their board. So that one has been very challenging because sometimes, like us, we just do it for the love of the club. Garrick, Bob, because we have this bonding through the probationary period. It's something that we just learn to embrace. It's the fun days, as we would call it, even with all the challenges.
Okay.
So it's growing out of that because when they depend too much on you, that's the biggest challenge. So how do you train the next one that it's just not you shining, it's the other people and the entire club?
Kasi ang expectation was this high and ito susundan. Ang mahirap nga yun.
Okay.
So that's a very big challenge for me. So as when I went back to being a regular member, I had a sigh of relief that finally I can just join the contest. I can focus on the camaraderie. I can have a good laugh with Garrick, with Bob, with Annabelle, just like this program right now. Because before, when you're so engrossed in that duty and you enjoy it, it's like, oh my God, I forgot what it's like to sit back, relax, and enjoy. So that's why I'm laughing at all the questions that are being asked here, because I know that there's a lot of stories, there's a lot of things happening, but, well, ano ang bida kung wala ang kontrabida? That's what I tell myself.
Okay.
Pero guys, you're doing good. Grabe, you're not that I'm expecting good things and good stories from you. Pero this is more than what I'm expecting.
It's eye-opening.
It's eye-opening.
Yeah.
It's kumbaga, if people are thinking of smooth sailing, all gold, or prestigious partying, iba totally na iba. Ito yung kayo yung naging
naging benchmark sila bigla ng
naging benchmark kayo kasi
what to do and what not to do, di ba?
So we'll stop on the now. We'll go for something na it's fun. The photo competition within your group. Ito na. So this is the photography side now. Okay. So let's start with how do you start with those themes? How do you create the themes? Do you do every month contest ba yan? We really have no idea because majority of clubs I know would always pattern it with Photo World Cup. You're familiar with Photo World Cup, of course, and PPF. Now, with you guys, you're different kasi you're a individual entity na you're not involved with other, but you have this internal contest already. So how do you do that? So how does it go? So who's gonna answer that? Kasi hindi ako familiar who's the right person to ask this.
Can I answer, Bob? Or you want to answer? I can answer. Yeah. So basically, the board every year before the start of the year, no? So
Yeah.
we have a transition during December to the new board after the Christmas party. So the new board need to have a meeting to decide the theme for next year, and then of course we have to appoint the contest committee chairman.
Committee,
Yes,
yeah.
decide the theme. We have to propose the theme. Depends on the style of the contest committee chairman. Some of them will solicit idea from the members. Let's say, what do you want
Okay.
team? But we follow a certain pattern wherein we make
Okay.
sure that all the genre
Mhm.
has to be there, from black and
Okay.
white to let's say color, single shot color, and then a composite color with unrestricted editing, all this like so. And then this would be, let's say, shooting people, portraits,
Yes.
shooting a landscape, shooting let's say building, or let's say structures, shooting motion, sound. Depends. But to make sure that the genre is there for the
Yes.
whole
Okay,
year.
the probationary members are also could join as in,
Yes.
kasama rin dyan. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's
Are
how
they
we
compulsory to
form.
join?
So that's how we form our genre. So before the start of the January competition, December, we will announce the whole year theme.
Okay.
Oo.
And then when is the submission?
So nakalatag na yung the whole year.
Nakalatag
no?
na
So,
the whole year.
Okay.
So, all members po dapat kailangan mag-participate.
That's
Uh,
required.
Required
Well,
mag-participate.
you're also allowed not to participate, but of course the rule is we
Bawas
expect
points.
everybody to participate, and then you need to participate to be part of the Master Cup competition. Kasi we have number one, we have the Master Cup competition. Second, we have the calendar, no. So we have, let's say, the winner of the month, the team,
Yes.
and then we also have the all the winner of the year, no, like best in black and white, best in colors, and then at the end of the year we will print a calendar, the CCP, the elusive CCP calendar. So we only print like 500 pieces. That's it. So, so if you get,
Meron
if
po
you
kayo
get a
sample ng
camera and
calendar.
Christmas,
Gusto ko makita.
something like that. No? So that's
Okay.
the prestige of it. No? So then you
Okay,
have to
so this
go,
is
"Uy,
internal
nandun
na
ako
to,
sa-"
di ba? Tama, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Faye,
So-
may sagot ako para dun sa tinanong mo about the probies. Do they have to join the contest? And the answer is yes.
Probably
Because
yes.
to really check that if you're serious with the
Yeah.
club, and you need a certain point system.
Yeah.
So if you don't reach your quota,
Ayun!
yes,
Oo.
you need the quota.
Probies.
Yes,
Probies,
when we all went through that one, you have a certain point. So for each competition, they're checking how much points did you get. So if you
Yeah.
don't join, you have a lesser chance of graduating.
Bawas points.
Bawas
Yeah.
points.
Masisibak ka lalaban.
Yeah.
Ito.
Tatanggal ka dun.
Oh shit. So,
So to correct Jaime, kasi ang question mo, members eh.
oo.
Kanina. Iba yung probi.
Ito naman. Pero just to
Oh.
answer that question for probies, kailangan dumaan kami lahat doon to support the club, diba?
Okay. Okay, now, so okay, we already established na every year you have this theme. No? So nilalatag yan by the end of the year. So latag yan incoming year you have the whole theme. Now,
Yes.
every it's not every member is required, pero as much possible they should. Now, how many photos does a member submit for that? Are one photo ba? How many entries normally yung pwedeng i-submit na isang member?
2 per
Two,
entry.
okay. 2.
Paano po
Now,
yung for example, 'di ba ilalatag nyo na yung buong year. Sinasabi niyo in advance na for example, January pa lang, October ganito yung sinasabi niyo in advance.
Yes.
lahat na eh. Latag na siya para the whole year. Nasa yun na yung theme.
Kung kukunan mo, halimbawa yung assignment mo, kunyari animals, October, kailangan ba kuha yung picture
On October or previous
January
month?
meron
Or,
ka na.
No. You can get it to your bodega, they call it.
so you could get it through your stock photo.
File.
Okay.
The only thing na you have to be straight out of the camera is on the spot competition, which is 2 times a year.
Okay.
Oh.
Yun yung
That has to be straight out
pinag-aarian
of
ni
the
Mama
camera.
Annabelle.
No editing.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
okay, hindi pa tayo,
Absolutely
wala
no
pa tayo sa
editing.
mechanics ha. So basically, so every theme, every genre or every theme every month, iisa lang rules lagi niyan or may standard rules
Iba-iba,
tayo yan. So,
iba-iba.
you mentioned kasi
Iba-iba.
no editing or standard na yung no editing. Tama?
There's a
Or
single
there
shot.
are certain months na parang
there's-
may ano. Okay. So
every
it
team
changes.
Every team has
Okay.
rules. So like single shot, meaning either single shot unrestricted. Kasi we changed the rule
Yeah.
a little bit this year.
Okay.
No? So we allow unrestricted single shot. And then unrestricted color that can have composite.
Okay.
But if you
okay.
composite, any composite has to be your shot. Let's say
Yes.
you can replace the sky, but the sky has to be your shot.
Dapat sa'yo.
Okay.
Hindi ka pwede kumuha ng stock photo ng iba
You
at yan yung
cannot get
gagamitin
the
niya.
stock photo or the one that is standard in
Not,
Photoshop or
yeah, okay, got it.
Luminar or
Yeah,
whatever.
it makes sense. It makes sense. Kasi you're submitting an image na, di ba? You're competing and ano. So it makes sense.
There's black and white, black and white single shot, meaning black and white composite, unrestricted. So these
Yes.
are the rules, no? And then
Alright.
others could be straight out of the camera, which is the OTS, on the spot competition. Which Annabelle is the queen.
Queen.
Oh.
Sige nga,
Record holder.
Nasaan ba siya?
We have the king and the queen. Okay,
Oh.
of OTS.
That's on the spot, ano, no? On the spot.
competition.
Ano.
Yeah. Okay.
May nag-questionable decision ng hurad. Okay, so
Yeah,
before I
okay.
go, pero tanong mo muna, how do the judging go? So paano nangyayari ngayon judging? The judging, of course, do you invite other people to judge it, or you internally there's a committee which is your group too that does the judging for that?
Okay, we have the contest committee chairman. As much as like for example, my board, no, as much we don't want to get into what do you mean? We don't want to get involved in the judging
Yes.
to make sure that the sanctity of the judging. So we let the contest committee chairman handle the, let's say, how to talk to the judges, how to brief the judges, how to do take the score, no, the scoring.
Yes.
We check, the board will check on it after to see how the process goes, to see if they
Okay.
follow procedures and the likes. No?
Would you mind telling us how does the point system or judging goes? Pinaka-simple way, without siguro divulging what the style of you're doing, guys. But just give me an idea. Yeah.
Well, we just, every entry, the judges will put a score between 1 to 5.
1 of 5.
That's simple.
Okay, if it's below 3, meaning baksak ka.
Oh.
Ooh.
So let's say 3, can put in 3.1, 3, exactly 3.0,
Okay.
or 4 point something. And then we usually have like 3 to 5 or 5 judges. So depends. No? Minimum is 3 judges, maximum 5 judges. So we
Yeah. Okay.
combine all the score, and we have an average of the two.
Yun na,
entries.
ganun.
So we have
Alright.
the best photos, and then you have the photographer of the month, no, of the team.
Okay.
Meaning both
Fair
score
na.
combined. One is
May
single
ma-
photo, the top 10 photos, and the other one's the top 10 photographers.
Okay, so we already established the judging. Now, there's one question from the public coming from Edwin Loyola. Pay pabasa.
This is coming from Sir Edwin Loyola. Sir Garrick, may nagkaroon na ba ng may nag-question sa decision ng mga hurado sa mga contest nyo?
Siyempre. Di ba maiwasan yun, di ba?
Yeah.
Sometimes they will I say na, but not really questioning the judges, no. Sometimes it's more of a
Bakit ako natalo?
the entry. No. Questioning
Ano
the
yung
entry.
criteria na natalo ko?
Oh, di ba?
More of the entry. Parang, ano na
Entry.
yan? Wala sa team or medyo out of team.
It's more na. Okay.
ganun
So,
lang.
yun yung normal question. Hindi yun.
Yung humihingi ng appeal.
Well, may mga rugged judges. We have to admit. Kasi may mga judges na na di namin maintindihan bakit
Bakit
they
yun yung
score.
Oo.
Binaksak niya lahat. Binaksak niya lahat except the 5 na gusto niya. May ganun.
Eh,
Parang
pero-
binaksak niya lahat.
Ayan.
Binaksak niya
Walang-
lahat.
Dumaan kami doon. Nakita namin ni
Tapos,
Garrick yun.
lima lang yung
Umaksak.
di ba nung super
Hindi
taas
nun.
naman? 4.55. Tapos lahat 2, 2, 2, 2, 1.
Parang, walang
So
yan.
sigurado,
Ayaw.
aangat yung 5.
Sino kaya yun?
Ayaw
Wag na natin babagitin.
So,
Wag lang, Sir Gary.
so the rules,
Natawa
the
lang kami.
rules,
Yeah.
If we identify a rugged judge, we will, kaya 5 yung judge, we will drop the rugged judge. So we still have
Okay.
the 4 cumulative score to make it
Yeah.
even. Kasi halata na
This is
hindi siya
all
rugged judge.
this is all internal, no. Wala namang ano eh. So
It's the contest committee chairman who decide.
Oh.
Okay.
It's not the member. We don't have a say on that. It's the contest committee chairman who decide. If
Okay.
he spotted a
Sige.
rugged judge, then he will decide. Let's say and then of course after that he had to announce to the board that this is what happened.
Okay.
The report back.
Sir Jaime, babalikan natin yung you mentioned that napagdaanan nyo ni Sir Garrick yun nga, yung rugged judge na talagang bumagsak ha. Tita Annabelle, before
OTS.
you...
Tanong mo nga yung OTS queen niya. Gusto kong alamin yan.
Sir Garrick was mentioning that you are the OTS queen daw for Camera Club of the Philippines. So Tita Annabelle, can you tell us yung what was your parang winning moment na bakit lagi ikaw
anong sekreto pagiging OTS
diba?
queen?
Sige, go ahead, Tita Annabelle.
Nakamute ka, madam.
Paano maging queen?
Yes.
Paano maging
Anong question?
Ayan, alright.
Anong sekreto mo? Bakit ka naging OTS queen?
I always plan. Meron akong vision kung ano yung gusto kong i-shoot. Kasi bibigay naman nila anong place eh. Sabi nila, we'll shoot OTS in Lipa. Sabi ko, ano na may shoot sa Lipa? Sabi ko, puro naman yun bukid, puro naman yun mountain. So parang sabi ko, kung ganon, I will make this. Parang nandun na yung vision ko na this is how I want to shoot. Parang gagawa na ako ng ano na yung laman ng picture ko. So, so planuhin ko siya ng todo-todo. Tapos i-shoot ko talaga siya not only one day. Shoot ko siya at least 2 days. Same subject, same vision.
Okay.
Talaga mananalo ka. 2 araw mo sinushoot eh.
If I go out of town, if I go out of town, like we went to Bali for OTS, temple, di ba? Bali, temple. So, alam ko na anong gusto kong gawin. Sabi ko, I'll take the temple with the sunrise or the sunset. Super timing lang at that time when I won the Bali OTS. Na timing merong
hindi na judge Sir Bob dun sa sunrise sunset. Ayaw ni Sir Bob yung sunrise sunset. Babagsak yung photo mo dun.
So always have a vision. Parang pinaplano mo what to shoot.
Okay, Annabelle.
Kasi wala kang vision, shot ka lang na shot.
Yeah, pero Annabelle, okay, I know how ka talaga serious about your craft. Maki, ano mo na lang. Pag sa akin, ayaw. Ini-ignore ako. Anyway, Maki, the question is, kahit para may translator tayo, para Miss Universe na ibang bansa yan. Anyway, just ask her kung, if, yung mindset niya kasi, he's talagang, serious sa craft niya. Now, how does he feel or handle yung siyempre not all the time you're gonna win. Diba? A part of it. So yung paano, how does it, kasi that's gonna be part of someone who's joining contest, diba?
Yes, okay. Alright. So Tita Annabelle, Park's question is something like this. Kasi napuputol ka daw eh. So anyway, so Park was asking, yeah, it's okay. Ako na lang po magta-translate nung niya. I-decode ko yung puto niya. Anyway, so Park was asking, so not all the time you're gonna win that OTS competition or that category. So how do you handle that moment na hindi ikaw, for example, for this year hindi ikaw yung pumasok doon sa winning entries. How do you handle it? Na knowing that you carry that prestige already. Ikaw nga ang inaano. Kumbaga, ikaw yung nagiging standard for the Camera Club for OTS.
Natatawa.
What I do, then I help someone in my, say, for example, in the next OTS, then I don't compete. Kasi parang every time naman na natatalo ako, it's just part of the competition. Hindi naman palaging mananalo ka.
Diba?
So, what?
Okay na. I was kidding. Go.
Sige, go ahead.
So what I do, like when I won that OTS on that year, sabi ko stop na. So I stop. Hindi na ako nagpo-compete.
Okay.
Parang
this to give.
I will just retain that. I will just retain that time, that year na ako yung OTS.
Pwede, no?
There's no need for
Parang
me
ano,
Nanalo na ako, hindi na ako pukot. Ayoko na, baka mabawi pa sa akin. So, for sure, yun yung gusto. Yun ang sinabi niya eh.
may vision. May vision. Alright.
Nice one.
Alright. That's good. Alright, so Sir Jaime, balikan natin yung sinabi mo. You experienced one of those rugged judges na
Talaga, babalikan natin yun.
Yun ang score nyo ni Sir Garrick. So go ahead, tell us your story about that.
Well, I'll tell you, my honest opinion announcing those scores, it was fun. It was fun because here's the camaraderie. I'll involve you inside the contest. For example, PARC Cruz 1.222. Then you have Maki 2.77.
There you go.
Bob.
There you go.
Mark,
That's highway.
4.
Take it away.
1. See that one?
Parang bingo sa loob.
Sobrang saya, Maki. Kasi imagine mo, magkakabarkada tayo dito. We're having fun. And you could say, sabihin sa'yo ni Ga, pare, bagsak ka ako, mataas.
Pero pare-parang bagsak tayo.
Jaime, paano pag mataas ka?
You really rub it in pa talaga, natalo ka.
Jaime, paano yung
mataas?
mataas ka?
Oh, pag mataas ka, kunyari, entry number 7. Skip.
Oh.
Ano yung skip?
Skip, meaning...
skip
kasi di mo alam kung top 5 siya eh. Top 5.
Okay.
Skip. Although we make amend the rule a little kasi may baksak, di ba? So yung skip, dalawa. Either top 10 ka o baksak.
Oo. Ginawa namin yun. Sobrang exciting. So sinasabi ng iba, wow, top 10 ako. Or siguro magna-number 1 ako. Tapos pag in-announce yung winners from 1 to 10, ay, wala ka pala.
Baksak.
Natapit ka pa doon sa bagsak.
Okay. Jaime, ikaw tatanungin ko to. Okay.
Sure, Park.
May times ba na because of the judging, because of the contest, may drama nangyayari?
May walkout, ganun.
I just have to ask. I just have to ask. Kasi it's okay. I'll tell you why. Everything you create is personal. It's something that came inside you and you created. Ginawa mo yan lahat hoping na this is the best, this is what I'm doing. Now all of a sudden talo ka, diba, nandun na yung hope eh. So may drama bang nangyayari?
To a specific example ko as a pro, I've seen it for myself.
Alright, without mentioning name, ayaw na natin.
No, there's no names here.
Okay.
After hearing the 2 scores, inom ng beer, uwi na.
Meron.
Alaskado ka sa grupo no pag ganun lalo. Kasi
isama na natin to since nasa contest. Meron daw merong parang fact or fiction. So fact or fiction question to. So
si Edwin Loyola rabi question sa inyo, no?
So sa inyo ba yung group na pag binagsak yung entry, pinupunit yung print sa harap ng mga member?
True. Wag mo na kwento ha.
Doon sa time na namin, contemporary, wala na gano'n. I don't know
wala na gano'n. So, we could stop there. So, wala na sa inyo nung part. So, ibig okay.
Nangyari pala yun.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
So, ayan. So walang sorry Edwin, hindi natin malaman anong totoo. Basta may siguro may nangyari pero hindi natin walang proof, walang ano.
Yeah.
Walang English kapon.
Talo ko.
Entry ko.
Kaya lighter, no?
Wow, light. Okay, guys. So we have the competition. It's so simple. Actually, then okay. Anong prestige or what do you get when you win? So, siyempre, every month someone's gonna win. So, what do you get? Now, from the end of the year, meron bang ano ba yan? Meron kami yung mga parang rookie of the year. What are the prizes or the ranking for that?
Yeah.
So, who's gonna answer this pala?
I think Jaime, you want to answer?
Jaime, sige. Oops, mute.
Sige.
Oh, yes. Well, Park, just like any other club, we also have trophies and medals which are prepared. So I give my hats
I'm not
off
gonna
to President
I'm not
Bob.
gonna ask what kind of medals ang binibigay nyo, ha? I'm sure
Gold plated.
I'm sure hindi yan yung
Diamond
mga
encrusted. Gana.
Anyway, we don't give cash, no, or anything.
No.
Okay,
Yes.
no cash.
We don't.
Okay.
No cash.
Okay.
Okay, it's really a bragging rights.
Okay.
Yeah,
lead
bragging
in,
rights.
camera
Sige
club
na nga,
of-
how beautiful are your medals and trophies? Sige na nga, sige na. Also sa
Okay.
ko na nga.
Kunin ko
Fourth,
yung akin. Kunin ko
Okay.
yung akin.
Masiyan.
Sige.
Sige, sige,
For the-
Annabelle. Yeah,
for
yeah.
the-
Let us see it. Yeah, yeah.
Nobel.
the top three, okay,
Mhm.
for a few years back, no, for the top three, we have this famous glass in Italy.
Mhm.
Shit.
What's the name of the glass? Murino.
Yeah.
Morano.
Murano. Yeah. sorry.
Murano glass,
The place
okay.
in Italy, diba? When you go to Venice, there's across the islands called Murano, diba? Where they produce this beautiful handcrafted glass.
Okay.
So that's the trophy.
For the top three.
It will be constructed into a trophy for the first three places.
Okay.
The champion, the master photographer, the second place, and the third place.
Mhm.
The rest of the trophy came from imported, di ba? Tama, Jaime? In-order pa natin sa ibang bansa.
Yes,
Di ba?
in order.
Grabe.
3 months in advance.
It's look like one of them looked like a Leica camera, so it's a solid.
Oh.
The other one looked like a Hasselblad.
Oh, fuck.
It's a wooden Hasselblad trophy camera.
Okay.
And then plus the medal. No? I think Annabelle will show you
Talagang
some.
gugustuhin mo manalo, no?
I know. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
So
Oh.
heavy. It's so heavy.
Yun yung trophy pa.
Oh, shit.
And
And
then
that's
after
big.
that,
That's
yun
big.
yung
Very
Murano.
big. It's very big.
Yeah, very big.
Okay.
Pwede mo
Where's the
lagay
win?
dito, Annabelle, pag wala ka na mapapaglagyan. Pwede na.
Pwede
Or
siyang
kasa.
pang-display. Yeah, pwede siyang pang-display. And it's so heavy. You know, when I won this, Garrick has to help me.
Yeah.
Garrick has
Akala ko,
to help me.
akala ko bawal magpatulog.
Bawal ang
Papatulog.
assistant.
Pareho naman kami
that's
member. Pareho naman kami
Yeah, it's-
member.
It's a bragging rights.
Uy,
Sila
You
lang
won in
yung
the
nag-iisang
camera
camera na, ito. Ang ganda to, Maki.
The
Sila lang
IPA,
ang
no?
nag-iisang camera club sa Philippines na nanalo ng International Photography Award. Lucy Awards sa New
Yes.
York. I guess I have the photo. Maki, you have the
Thank
photo.
you. Yeah, they're in the, I sent
Yung binigay ko sa'yo na one of the photos yata, yung Lucy Award yata. Can we,
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
see if I
I
can
think
Okay.
that is
see
in
it.
2018, I think. We are awarded
Galing
in New
nun,
York, in Carnegie
Ah.
Hall, Lucy Spotlight Award.
How did you, how do a club compete for that?
Lucy International
Is it a competition or a recognition lang? It's a recognition. Yeah, it's
But
a recognition.
our member, we joined the competition, no, in IPA,
Mhm.
in the
Okay.
Lucy Award. No? So I guess a lot of us is a regular winner there, including Jaime, I think, Annabelle, I guess, and Bob. No? I was, I think, 2000, am I not mistaken, 2018 of the Nature Photographer of the Year of IPA for
And
Philippines.
everyone
2018.
everyone traveled during the time, I guess. Kasi nga, di ba? sa labas
During
yun,
that time, a lot
The
of
award
us
was-
fly
yeah.
to New York. We fly to New York to receive the award.
Yeah, I remember that. Annabelle,
And then
I think,
we also
mentioned
have-
that. Yeah.
And then we also have an exhibit in UN headquarters in New York City, the UN headquarters. We have an exhibit there.
Yeah, we had an exhibit.
Correspond to that month, no, to that week.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was two events that happened during that year.
Grabe.
Okay.
And bakit mo paghihirapan ng membership? It's because of this.
Yeah.
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 Worth every
So, Annabelle,
every
sulit yung hirap,
Sulit,
pawit,
yeah. Buti na lang
sulit
hindi
siya.
ako nag-quit. Buti na lang hindi ako nag-quit. I nearly quit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you owe me dinner, no?
Yeah.
Talo ko lang, just kidding. Ano ko ba? We have to do our wine night again at na-miss ko na yung natin, wine and cheese night natin. Pero si Jaime, again, I guess no regrets from that point na nakapasok hanggang you're enjoying, I guess. You're still here.
So since
Super.
we're on that notion na you're already joining the International Photography Awards and you won part of it already, So here's a question coming from
Sir
a
Ador
teacher.
Pamintuan.
This is an instructor from FPPF.
PPF, the sir, yeah.
Gamarts, read this one out, please.
Yon, so ma'am, sirs, from Sir Ador G. Pamintuan. So how does the club help upgrade the photography skills of some members to encourage them to compete with those who are more advanced?
Ay, ganda. So who's gonna answer that?
Well, I can start during my
go.
time, during my year, we conducted, even when I was a Pro B, we organized training sessions. We invite regular member, to do a workshop. For example, when I was a Pro B, Raymond Fortud was teaching wedding photography.
Raymond,
instructor. We also invite some of the like TLAC and even Ben Cup to present about their workshop. Baguio, di ba? Ben Cup is one of our it's not a regular member, but it's called
honorary.
Honorary member.
Honorary member, okay.
It's one of
how
our
I love it too. I would kill myself just to have time to
and then they
interview
have
that guy.
They have an annual event with TLAC, the one in Washington, which they also showcase their workshop. At the same time, I guess during Bob season time last year, they organized a lot of upgrading their post-processing skill. Okay, and then I guess we will have to continue that. But nowadays, I'm also planning to put up basically a YouTube channel to teach basically the basic post-processing for the members. I guess that's a way of improving. Nowadays, you don't really need to have a very formal workshop. You can have a recorded, or you can even just what we're doing right now, send a link, a YouTube link maybe to the chat group, and then people, if you're interested, you grab it, you click on it, and then after that is self-sustained already because you know where to go, where to look for references, how to improve your skill if you're really interested to learn. And of course, the other who has more resources will hire a personal instructor, and then to teach them how to basically submit. They have
those are personal,
international workshops and the likes. And then, like myself, I also keep myself abreast with what's the latest in the camera. Like for example, always attend the Leica Academy whenever they have instruction available. I also now it's easier because they open up the Leica Academy for international audience. For example, when they conduct it in Singapore, you can actually attend online. They teach about, and then they have a lot of this ambassador who talk about their experience, their work, how do they shoot this, why they shoot this. It's a different level kasi after we have experienced all the technical skill, like how to shoot at very technical perfect photos, pero boring naman yung photos mo kasi it's very technical correct, very technical perfect, technically perfect, but walang buhay, di ba? You can call it that way, di ba? So now you have to learn how to put light to a photo, di ba? So you have to learn it from the artist, di ba? How they interpret a photo, di ba? How they have a different style, and then how do they get their impression, and how do they compose a shot, di ba? That's I think how
Malapit na kayo mag-survive ng boring Mondays pero we're almost done guys pero you're doing good, you're excellent. Habol sige Maki. Pero papatulogin ka baka magalit na sa akin Sir Bob pero no, Sir Bob, we're almost done. I know, Sir Bob, it's very unusual to have an interview at this time of the day. Ganito. So, pero again, we're enjoying, guys. We're knowing you, guys, how the club and the people inside. Kahit hindi ko pa na actually sa member nyo, ang rami ko na pala kaibigan. Kahit ako kasi group photo nyo, ang rami ko na pala kaibigan doon dahil kasama nyo rin pala na I didn't know na mga kakilala ko na rin pala. So, question Maki, go.
This one is for Sir Bob. Sir Bob, please address this question coming from Doc Frank Fabasa. So, if you're a full-fledged member of CCP, are you allowed to join any other club or your club membership should be exclusive only to CCP?
Guys, question,
Daming members.
So, pwede.
Yes, Annabelle. Yan, ang biggest example dyan. Annabelle is a member of so many clubs. Hindi naman excuse
so
it.
many, one only.
So many na huli ka ba, Bel? Bel, chismis yan. Ang marami yan.
No, I guess you're allowed to
The
join
answer
as
there-
many clubs as
You're
you can.
allowed. Yeah.
But you have to, of course, you have to give your allegiance to the club.
Allowed
Grabe,
naman, kaya lang.
Ang rami mong oras, Annabelle, no? Ang rami mo ng clubs. Yung iba nga, wala na mo.
Hindi, talagang tinanong nila ako. Sabi nila, which is the most important? Talagang tanungin kanila kung saan ka loyal.
Okay. But there's
Especially
nothing
when
in
you're
your
probing.
bylaws that would bar you from joining other
No.
clubs.
Wala,
But they will
okay.
ask you kung saan ka dapat nagpo-focus.
Okay. At least that's clear.
Unwritten
Kaya
rules.
ni Annabelle, hawak.
Unwritten rules. Hidden rules. Unwritten rules.
Yeah.
Ano yung rule?
Annabelle, wala ka namang problema sa oras di ba? Di ba? Wala kang problema yan. Kaya isang PM lang, sagot na nga yan Yan yung laman ng Facebook kasi. Anyway, so guys, ito. It's a question for everyone. So, iba-iba ang magiging interpretation nyo dito. Pero, I would probably ask you, why should someone join a club?
Our club,
Any it could be general, it could be so why should someone join a club? The main reason why someone should join a club. So who's gonna be first, Maki?
So let's ask first si Jaime. So going to the top spot naman tayo. So
Okay,
Jaime and Annabelle. Go ahead, Jaime. Why
Good
join a
question.
club?
Based on experience, is to meet new people. You never know who you're gonna come across. And just like Annabelle, I came across her 2016, and look at us today. We're here. I'm invited to the show. So that's why you should join. You just might meet somebody you might click with, and along the way, you'll have fun. You'll have better photos, and of course, you'll be blessed with the companionship.
Yeah.
Si Jaime, well-poised talaga, hindi ko siya, wala akong proper words to this. Basta good vibes siya, pero meron lang, nakakatuwa siya, well-poised, well-constructed, lahat ng sasabihin. Talaga,
It's the training.
Dapat ikaw yung nando sa debate, or nung question ikaw yung nasa debate, nasagot mo yung
Dapat part na siya ng ng group.
Pwede ko alam mo naman ang Boring Mondays. We normally invite guests to be co-hosts and guest hosts to talk about things. May mahahanap ako ng iba, depende sa topics kasi. So, iniikot-ikot na. So, you guys are always gonna be part of the show. Annabelle, how about you? Why should someone join a club? You'll be the best sample kasi you started really with zero knowledge. You grew because of clubs. Talagang doon ka na nahasa Aside from the workshop, of course.
First kasi, you will really learn from joining the club because the works of other members, you will be inspired.
Yeah.
And then the way you look at your pictures against them, you will improve. So kailangan talaga sasama ka sa mga clubs.
So hindi ka basta-basta pwede maging individual lang na
No, because you cannot base your performance by yourself lang, diba?
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, medyo iibahin natin yung question na yan.
Papahirapan mo na naman yung sa mga officer, napakasimple na question.
Kasi kay Jaime and kay Annabelle, it's coming from someone who's
A member.
participating as a member. So kay Sir Bob and Sir Garrick,
how do they convince people to join?
Convince people to join you?
The club.
So kahit hindi mo nasisipin, kumbaga your insight would be, I want you to join my club. What would be your selling point to them?
Yeah, why?
So Sir Bob muna, Sir Bob.
Okay, let me speak in general. No, it's not only the camera club or photography club, but any social club for that matter.
Yes.
So it can be Rotary, which I belong to, JC, which I belong to, etc.
Yes.
If you're familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs,
Yes.
you ever heard of that? Ang pinaka-basic doon yung physiological needs. But you see, going up to the highest, at the apex, is the self-actualization, whatever. Somewhere in between, you have to join social clubs to fulfill your social needs. Tama ba?
Yes.
So
Yes,
any
correct.
club for that matter will be part of your life. If you don't join any social clubs, you
You're
can
gonna
make
be...
you cannot get to the highest level.
Okay.
Yun lang ang thinking ko.
Yun ang
Galing.
selling point ni Sir Bob.
See, ang layo. Tingin mo, kung alam mo dapat kinopya ko yung yung mga question ni nung sa debate. Tapos tinanong ko sa kanila. I probably got a bet. Okay, I'm not hitting any presidential wala. Sabi ko lang in general, dapat pala ginawa ko, kinopya ko yung diba?
We're live.
Hindi wala nga ako sinabi. Sinabi ko lang how I wish kinopya ko yung question. Tinanong ko sa kanila. Pero wala ako sinabi. Kayo, you're putting words sa akin para nilagyan nilagyan yun
that's
ako.
a good point na coming from Sir Bob. If you want to be holistic, actually that's the holistic approach, the Maslow's hierarchy of it. That's the holistic approach of being a person or being a human. So that's a good point for Sir Bob. Sir Garrick, your turn.
Well, for me, to join a club is basically to be the best, to learn from the best. But of course, you need to be the best. You need to join the best club.
Yan.
Give an example in my life, let's say professional life. I joined professional club.
Yes.
I joined a golf club because I want to keep myself healthy. I joined a camera club to keep my creative juice up.
Yes.
I joined the Rotary Club to establish business network and the likes. But I make sure I join the best club.
Okay.
So you learn from the best. Ika nga. And be the best.
Actually, yun yung point eh. If you want to be the best, you have to join the best.
Exactly. Kasi, diba? Yun yung point eh. Join the best. Kung saan ka pwede is fake. Okay.
You're around with the best people.
But the question
Around
here, ito diba? Okay. So kanino ba natin maganda i-pitch to? How do you choose the best club for you? Let's say CCP is out of your league. Okay? But how do someone choose the right club for him or her? Ayan, magandang question kasi let's say CCP is out of the list already. I can't be part of it kasi wala. Una, sabihin na natin wala tayong magiging sponsor dyan. Or I could probably commit yung kaya. Based on the story I heard now, I think I do. But how do I choose a club for myself right now as a photographer? So ito wala nang officer, walang member to. Pero this is more of your thing, personal thing. How would you choose? Ano magiging parang choice? Ano magiging basis mo or less?
For camera club, you're not with CCP. You're the wrong club.
Wala na. Period na yan.
Second. Sabi mo out of your league, di ba? Jaime Cumagun can become a CCP member. Anybody can become a CCP member.
Wala na. Okay.
It's in the bylaws.
It's basically your determination to join the best club. Like
Romel,
me.
pwede ka na, Romel.
I give you an idea, di ba? Like me, I've been spending years to get into the CCP. I cannot find a sponsor, di ba? But finally, I found one, di ba? So it's
sponsoran namin si Romel.
It's not giving up.
Hindi ka nga member.
Pops, it's not the other way around. Hindi to botohan 2022 na paramihan lang, okay? It's alam niyo, tigilan niyo, nagkakasala ako. Anyway, so it's just period. It's not, tama. Yeah.
If you're not in camera club, you're in the wrong club. If Jaime Cumagun can enter and be part of a member of camera club.
Dude, guys, sa mga kokontra, yung mga alma sa comment ni Garrick, why? They're CCP. Period. If you could find a more paano bang prestigious and
because again, the longevity was there from 1928 up
they have proven their state. Okay. So final question. So this is the final question for everyone na to. Papasagutin ko na lahat dito. So huli mo si Garrick. Pag si Garrick, period eh. Wala na ba yung sagot eh. Magaling sumagot eh. So I'll period. So what makes your club unique? One word.
One word.
One word. Tandaan nyo, ha? Pinag-isipan ko talaga itong talong na to. One word. What makes your club unique?
Okay.
One word.
Jaime.
Jaime, start it. Go.
Hindi Chinese flag, sir.
Initiation.
Initiation.
Is what
Okay.
makes it unique.
Annabelle.
Nakakawad, ha?
Parang ang hirap sabihin in one word eh.
Sige.
Annabelle, live tayo dito, ha?
Because it will be 100 years na.
Okay, 100 years is the
Yeah.
Okay. Bob Sison. Sir Bob Sison. One word.
Prestige. Okay. And finally, Sir Garrick,
Garrick.
one word.
History.
History is there, di ba?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oo. Wala na. Guys, congratulations. You just survived boring Mondays. So, thank you very much. So, you guys, I really had fun.
Super fun.
Thank you, Park.
It was. We tried at first kami yung kabado. Pero before, syempre, mag-group photo muna. Ayoko yung pakawala kasi ito yung history namin na na-invite namin kayo dito sa namin.
Prestige na rin tayo, prestige na rin.
Prestige rin kami. So, starting now, na rin kami. Pwede namin pag malaki, friends namin ng mga tiga CCP, di ba? Pero guys, I just want to show you something, guys. Who wants to talk about this group photo? Ito, I just want to show this. Okay, yeah.
Lucy
All right.
Award.
This is the Lucy Award na no. Everyone traveled there. Wow,
No,
ang dami nito.
This is the
Polo
Christmas
Club.
party. This is the Christmas
Polo
party.
Club.
During the year, we received the Lucy Award.
Oh.
This is in Manila Polo Club.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we highlight the awarding that we got, the award that we got in New York. But this one is in December already.
December
So,
already.
yeah, this is a Christmas party. Yeah,
Okay.
in Manila Polo Club. Yeah.
Yeah.
Siguro, Proby yung nag-shoot sa inyo, no?
I cannot remember naka-waiter eh. Binigay yung camera
Hindi
sa
siya
waiter.
Mga waiter.
Kawawa na Proby na wala pa siya sa group photo kasi pero guys, di ba? So this is the family. Guys, this is CCP. This is the all active members already or hindi pa to, sir?
Hindi pa to.
Yes.
Not yet.
May mga
Not
hindi
yet.
nakapunta. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But I think majority is there already. Yeah.
All white Christmas.
And I look, you guys.
The all-white Christmas theme.
Yeah, you guys look good here. So, we were planning to wear white actually tonight and gagayahin namin yung group photo nyo.
may theme.
Wala kami puti. Naninilaw na yung mga damit namin. Sorry. Anyway, guys, again, I'll let my team say something. Then I'll let you guys say something to inspire your co-photographers in this industry and say some kasi again, lahat tayo dumaan, di ba, ang raming changes nangyari sa atin since the lockdown, ang raming trials, and ang raming dumaan. It tested our faith, our mental health, everything. Actually, everyone was tested. No one was spared. Totoo, ang raming di ba? So, Gabarts, I wanna say something about. You wanna say something before I let them go? Ito, group photo ko after. Yeah.
Papi, thank you very much, sirs, ma'am, for gracing us on this show. Sobrang nakaka-inspire yung CCP lalo na sa mga process nyo and yung mga contest. So, yun. Thank you very much. And yeah, we learned a lot from you today and keep inspiring lang po.
Yeah.
Thanks.
PayPal.
Ayun. Maraming salamat po, ma'am, sir, sa pagtambay dito sa aming tambayan. Hindi, nakaka-inspire and very honored po na nakausap kayo. Kahit paano nakilala ko po. Kasi masyadong elite eh.
Yeah, see, guys, kasi yun yung talagang nyo, which is good. I'm not saying it's bad, pero sa sobrang elite and sobrang prestigious ng group, no one knows what's really happening. Pero because of tonight, oh God, ang hindi biro, yung pinagdaanan, hindi puro sarap
Yes.
ng buhay lang.
To become one of the
yun yung point.
elites, kailangan mong dumaan sa butas ng karayom. Kaya,
Oo.
saludo po.
Oo, kasi,
And
sabi ko
100 more years to come.
Yes. Definitely.
alright, Romel Marcelo.
Ayun, so ma'am, sir, maraming salamat po sa pagpapa-unlock dito sa ating show. At
Si Romel nga po naghahanap ng sponsor.
Guys, Coco Show masira club nyo at mag-close after. That's the fastest way to do it.
Pero yun po yung the way how you handle the club, it's very inspiring talaga kasi subok talaga magtatagal kung yung ganun yung proseso na mangyayari talagang
Diba?
yung ibang
Kasi
clubs,
filtered down na, no,
talagang
pare, no?
sobrang
Hindi sila pwede
tindi.
pasukin ng kartel,
Hindi talaga. Tsaka
Diba?
yung club kasi nila, it's not really the skills only kasi it also tests your determination, kung paano mo i-handle yung mga trials, ganyan. Kaya hindi talaga biro, hindi talaga.
Bel, anong
Kailangan
nangyari
para
sa'yo?
Mabilis
Yan na ba yung
mabilis.
Romel, yan ba yung application mo para sa CCP? Parang
Kasi normally you just say normally just say thank you sa mga guests, pero ngayon may context na yung sinasabi.
Hindi naman kasi overall package ng being a good photographer yung talagang dine-develop na bago ka maging miyembro.
It's true.
Yun yung dapat talaga na
Nagpapa-impress to. Annabelle, nagpapa-impress to.
Ako yung may-ari ng food pack.
Alright.
Ayun po, maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Okay,
sir.
okay, Maki, about you.
No, so much has been said about your club. We even browse through some of the fact or fiction.
Pero
thoughts
pag
about what they say.
isaksak pa natin, 'di ba? Yung guest natin last Saturday si Sir Ador. He was a part of his storytelling was yung past stories, and now by passing nakwento rin niya na isa sa mga club na nakasabayan niya na when he was still starting as a photographer was CCP. Sabi niya, ang comment niya, natawa ko. Iba klase yung CCP na yan. Yan yung club na pag nag-EB lang or mamamasyal, helicopter ang gamit ng mga yan. So, di ba? Diba? So, you have that. Everyone would probably want to be part of CCP, pero ang question, kaya nyo ba?
Are you determined now? Yeah.
Determined.
No, but yeah,
Okay.
because of
Maki.
this interview, we were able to get a complete picture or a glimpse of what it's like to join, to stay, and to grow inside CCP.
Yeah.
So what you have just said tonight will definitely change the game for every other club out there. Now, if you're not doing it
would.
right, you're not gonna last 100 years or
Kasi
94 years
we normally see clubs na internally they don't work. Walang camaraderie o kung meron man may inggitan o galit o it's not even people, nangyayari yan it happens, it's natural, pero cause one thing nga, yung key nga doon was the filtering it's the filtering thing. It's pushing and checking whether 2 years bago ka ma-approve. Doon talaga
naman.
mangligaw ka nga lang ng isang buwan Ang tagal-tagal na. Diba? Titigilan ko na, hanap na lang ako ng iba.
To all the members of CCP who earned their spot and maintained it, hats off to you guys.
Now, okay, before ako magpasalamat, I would let you say something naman for our community, the industry, Philippine industry. Kasi, again, sabi ko nga, lahat nagdaan sa hirap. May maraming nag-give, maraming nawala ng trabaho, marami. So, I guess, say something that could inspire us all. So, unahin kita, Bel. Sige na, alam. Diba, sabi ko.
Nagulat.
Nagulat na naman ako sa'yo.
Yeah, okay lang yan. So, just, how do you, sige, paano ka, ganun din lang, how did you, parang handle yung during the lockdown? How did you made yourself busy and survive this lockdown?
During the lockdown, I don't stop taking photos. Almost every day, I still take photos, even my camera or my cell phone. So my advice is just to take photos and be creative on what are surround you. And that's it. Yeah. And I still sell my photos up to now.
And
you see?
that's Annabelle Chavez.
Chavez.
Yeah, and my best friend, one of my best friend, wine buddy. Anyway, who's next, Maki?
Jaime.
Thank you. I mean, hindi ako nawawala. Ayaw mo ako pansinin. Kanina pa sila. Hindi ako nawawala. Pero natawa ka, narinig mo ako bigla. So, guys, huwag kayo magulat kung ganito kami ni Annabelle. We're like this. We're just real friends na. Alright. This is my newfound friend. Good vibes friend. To si Jaime. Nakakatuwa to.
Lagi nakasmile.
Oo nga, smile. Alright, Jaime.
Well, for me, it's finding your own personal space and having a healthy boundary for it. Like when you can do things for yourself, you're just so focused on it, you can get lost in time. Like for us, Annabelle, we like taking photos, we like to edit. It's just that moment that you and your art, it can be anything, music, it can be drawing, it can be photography, something that you're really interested in. You just have to have that space and it'll keep you mentally, physically, and emotionally sane. That's how I got through the pandemic, when I just have my own art. And there's a saying in our club by one of our lifetime members, you have to have some form of art in your life. If not, something is missing. So that art can be anything. So as long as you have that personal space with that healthy boundary, what we call me time, I'm positive you will get through the pandemic healthier and smiling for everyone's sake and your sake, of course.
For 2022!
22 talaga. Walang You guys are all galing.
Nicely said, Sir Jaime. Next,
Sinalo yung manok
Sir
ko.
Bob. Your turn.
Idol ko to. Ito idol ko
The pandemic allowed us to do many things that otherwise we couldn't have done. We got to develop a better relationship with our cameras.
Yes.
We developed a better relationship with God. We had the time to do more prayers and attend more masses. We also had the chance to be close to our families.
True.
I was with my family for 2 years because we simply were not going out.
Yeah.
We did our best to stay out of being infected with COVID. And thanks to technology, we also made use with a lot of socialization through social media. And in fact, we generated more friends, I think, to my mind, because it's very easy to make friends over social media than to go out and physically meet with them.
Yeah.
And also, we had the chance and we had the time to go back to our other loves. No? Like me, for instance, I was able to get back to music, which otherwise I could not have maybe developed because so many things to do. Well, we had a lot of chance to be contemplative and to look at how we run our lives and maybe improve it. So that's how the pandemic. Well, I will not. I will not be shy about saying also improve my photography, even if I didn't go out, because I had to learn a lot from social media. So all in all, I wouldn't like to think that the pandemic was a disaster or a bad thing.
Okay.
In fact, on the contrary, it helped us be better persons, at least as far as I'm concerned, as far as my family is concerned.
Yan.
So,
yeah. Nicely put, Sir Bob.
Yun.
And, of course, lastly, we have the incumbent president of CCP.
I just have to
Garrick.
emphasize again, guys, this is how you answer a question. At this is how to do it. I'm not saying you did it wrong. I'm just saying I'm proud of my guests. They're answering. I was
walang advanced question.
Walang advanced question to Hindi ba nila alam ang question? Hindi sa live to, hindi recorded, di ba?
Go ahead, Sir Garrick. Go ahead.
Well, I guess my colleague already said the best answer. But for me, the pandemic open opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
It also is something that is the pandemic. At the same time, it opens new opportunities.
Yes.
Number one is, I guess, I'm a religious person, so praying for direction
Yeah.
is number one, no?
Yes.
Most important.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things it's out of your control. You cannot control
Mhm.
everything, so you have to
Okay.
let God teach you what to do. Ika nga.
Yeah.
Second is because I'm a technical guy. It opened my eyes that there's a lot of thinking. Actually, it could be your advantage to help people.
Mm-hmm.
So during the pandemic, we converted a lot of business. Let's say a part of a
Yes.
Rotary Club. There's a lot of uh, business got affected. So I helped them to get online, at the same time
Yeah.
establish payment. In fact, I'm helping them to get back on track. No? And then we also
Mm-hmm.
build a lot of this cooperative that we
Yeah.
help finance those people that lost their job, not to start a small business, and then teach them the basic of other how to start a small business on their own. No?
Yes.
Also, we put in certain fund, no, we because to help the frontliners, those who are
Yeah.
been supporting us, especially the initial phase of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, to be honest, me and my wife during this the initial stage of the pandemic, we even source out how to source out those PPE, no,
Yeah.
the scope, no. During those
Mm-hmm.
times, it's difficult to get, no. During the start of the first ECQ, no, we were able to parang source it out personally with our own, some of our own funds, some of my relatives' fund, from the office
Yes.
mate fund. We were able to look for all in at home, no, using
Mm-hmm.
technology to direct this and then deliver all this PPE to corresponding hospital and frontliners. We
Yes.
also provide food, lunch and dinner for a lot of these frontliners.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I guess being relevant in times of crisis also help you personally. Since you've been helping people, the good Lord will reward you accordingly also. So I was able to basically use this opportunity to hone my skill. So it's the
Mm-hmm.
best time to learn new things. No, actually, like your photography, you have more time now to edit your photos, to look at the new
Yes.
skill, new techniques of editing of
Mm-hmm.
photos, and to print, not to archive a lot of your prints. If you can
Yes.
you print it yourself, you can print it outside, and then
Yeah.
file it. No, and then in the process, I'm at the moment the process of how to set up a CCP online website, no, to help our own
Yes.
members sell their photos. At the same time, I'm
Okay.
also helping another art group
Mm-hmm.
how to sell their paintings naman. So they're building an
Okay.
online website at the same time. No? So all this we combine together. I don't look at it as disadvantage. So this pandemic
Mm-hmm.
actually bring a lot of eye opening. It's a
Mm-hmm.
great reset. So
Yeah.
it's how you pivot in that reset and how you learn from it and use your skill, of
Yes.
course, with the help of the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
to get back on track, not just you, as a community as a whole.
Yeah.
So help me God. That's that's all for me.
Yes. See?
Amen.
See?
Amen.
Well, ang layo ng mga sagot talaga. Ang gaganda ng mga sagot nila for a very simple question. They delivered a great answer that kahit ako mapapapalakpak. Anyway guys, now it's my turn to just say thank you. I'll make it simple. I'm not good in words. I'm just a photographer. I'm a photographer. I'm not a talk show host. I don't talk that well. So this is a new thing for me. This is my way of expressing my creativity in another way. Kasi nga we don't get to shoot anymore. But this is one way to reach out people. Now, I just want to say thank you very much, guys. It's nice to see familiar faces and new friends right now. Pero, naiba yung tingin ko sa CCP. CCP when without the show, with this the show pa hindi pa nangyayari to. CCP is really one of those prestigious club, rich people. That would be ano yun, and that's it. That would be my and yun yung ano and friends yun yung sabi. But tonight it's different. You just showed how professional you are. Yun yung ano yung pinaka best way I never, para bihira ako makakita nung how well poised and well, how, talaga, the best word would be, you guys are professional. You are professional, not just photographers, but as a person, iba, how you handle things. Iba eh. Yun yung way to describe CCP. They're not just rich, they're professionals na nagsama-sama. Kasi the way they handle it inside, outside, and whatever they're doing right now, it's professionally done.
Yes.
Nakita niyo yung the way they answer things, it's professionally done. Even the presidential doesn't answer that way. so it's too bad. Pero, pero I'm just saying the truth. Because we heard everything. I'm not using this platform. I'm just comparing na these are
Wala
just
naman absent. Wala naman absent. May absent.
Oh, wala.
Wala po ako.
Sumusunod si di ba? Anyway, guys, it's just I'm lost for words. It's just thank you very much for being part of this show, and I'm so happy to have you here. Yan lang. And we're so glad that you said yes. And Annabelle, maraming salamat for inviting your friends.
For facilitating this one.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure.
And knowing your friends. And diba? I told you. Yeah, I know. And diba?
Yeah.
So thank you for entrusting your friends to us. And so guys, congratulations. Now you may sleep. Pwede na kayo matulog.
Thank you. Stay safe.
So again, pero pa-photo mo na ha. Ipa-photo ko muna kayo ha. Bago kayo, final photo tayo. So strike up po. So lahat kayo photo. Ilagay natin yung pinakamaganda sa gitna. So top. Alright. So dalawang presidente. Dito ka, Jaime. Sasabi kita sa dalawang bodyguard ka dyan. Alright. So strike up pose. Bye.
Wait.
One more. One. Alam mo, pag dumoro tayo one more ako. Isa pa. Just for safety shot.
One.
See, it's easier to take a group photo dito eh. Anyway, guys, good night and thank you very much, guys. And you did well. So, yeah, maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat. Wala na akong masabi kundi thank you very much. I'm happy and I'm so glad to meet most of you. And Annabelle, Bob, nice to see you again. Hi, man, Garrick. You guys are my new friend. Nadagdag pa kayo sa Anyway, guys, thank you very much again. You may turn.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.
Kami na mag-close. Kami na bahala mag-close ng show. You just close your browser and you're done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cool. Done. Bye, Annabelle. Good night.
Bye, Annabelle. Thank you.
Sabi, kiss mo na lang kay Tito Ricky. Tito Rick.
Diba? Sabi ni Miss Jam, congrats for this guesting CCP. It's definitely great to hear from you again and learn more about your club. Keep inspiring our photography community. More 100 years. Cheers. PS, bakit parang disente ang BMs today?
Kailangan namin eh. Ang mayayaman yung mga kasama namin. Baka batayin kami. Tingnan mo nga si Romel, kahit mga gano'n ka-edit sa kanya, naka-Amerikana. Sige na, Annabelle, tulog ka na. Sige, we'll go. Bye. Thank you very much. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All
And
right.
there you have it, folks. And that was CCP, the prestigious club here in the Philippines.
Yes.
Going for their 106 more years to come, and they'll be hitting 100 years here in the Philippines.
Yun yung club.
Pare, umpisa pa lang. Ma-invite, yung hindi ka kasi nasama lang, diba? Hindi lang kasi, okay, pag-shoot ka lang, pasado ka na. Hindi yun. Hindi. 2 taon ng probation na dinaig pa, diba?
Mas dinaig pa yung nagkatrabaho ka eh.
Mismo, dinaig yung tatrabaho.
Maano
diba?
talaga kasi yung matitest doon yung willingness mo
Exactly, that's the
Hindi
point. The
yun.
main
You're
point
gonna
doon.
put
Are you
your
really
life
are
there.
you really serious to be part of this club? Then render the work. Offer na hindi po pwedeng
I don't,
Uwi
diba,
ka
ang ano doon, parang,
malaki.
Pagpasok sa
ang ano
club,
nga doon, the mantra
madali
there
lang
was,
din
we
lumabas
don't
eh.
care if you're the president of whatever company. We don't
Dude,
care if you're the CEO.
Kahit si Subel, sabi nga, they're doing the work. Imagine nyo. Yung nga lang, ikaw mag-utos ko, Subel, kung hindi ka makabahan. Siyempre, di ba? Kaya ano lang kay Sir.
Magdala ng assistant, bawal.
Bawal mag-assist. Doon pala, tanggal na agad ako. Di ba? Kulang ko na lang, hinihintay ko lang humirit si Romel. Wala na si PARC. Di ba?
Kahit mag-taxi ka sa Rockwell, dalhin mo yung TV. I don't care. Yun.
55-inch na TV, ang laki nun.
Hindi, ang point lo, pagkargay ka ng TV sa alas 11 ng gabi, pare, hindi tama yun. That's against sa pagkatao. Pero, ginawa pa rin niya.
Yes.
Yun, di ba?
May dala kang TV. Saan galing yan?
Imagine, try to visualize this. Kung si Jaime yon, what if si Romel yung may talaga ng TV doon sa Rockwell alas 11 ng gabi? Anong gagawin ng guard sa kanya?
Tumawag na ng SWAT, papi. Tumawag na ng SWAT.
Oo, lahat ng explanation dyan, di ba? Kahit sabihin mo sa club ako, CCP. Di ba?
Baka ipalo ko sa kanila yung TV. Kayo mag-uwi
Again, the takeaway there is that the reason why the longevity of the club sticks is because they have processes in place.
Lahat
that
tayo,
makes it
so we agree na iba tingin natin sa CCP.
Yes.
It's not just that prestigious thing na akala natin, di ba? Ano ang tingin natin? CCP before, okay, it's prestigious, lahat big time. Pero ang pagkaalam na, ang tingin natin, siya pag nag-join ka dyan, sama-sama, all the booze, di ba? Talaga, ano ba to? Socializing. Yung para ganun yung napipicture. But it wasn't.
What? Di ba?
It wasn't. Kasi nakikwento sa akin ni Annabelle, sabi ko, by passing, sabi niya, ang hirap. So, hindi ko na picture until tonight yung hirap na sinasabi niya.
Yeah.
Mahirap pala talaga.
Mas mahirap pa yung kay Jaime.
Ayun nga wala pa siyang car noon. Tapos uuwi pa siya ng a different, 'di ba? At nagko-commute pa siya.
Hindi pa siya napagtripan. Pahirapan kaya natin, Jaime. Pauwi natin yung TV.
Pero again,
biro lang, Jaime. Biro lang.
So, good job. So, ang ganda.
Galing. Guys,
Lucy Awards, iba talaga yun.
Lucy, the IPA Lucy Award.
Pero meron ako isang Romel, kaya mo isang pasada? Yung lahat ng chat mabilisan?
Lahat ng chat. Alin dito?
Lahat except yung mga Russian at saka mga grabe na sila kanina, ha. May mga offer na sila ngayon, ha.
Loveface.xyz. Here girls want everyone when you. Yan.
Loko. Hindi, pero sige, ako, iano ko na. So, let's give a shout out to Bicyclita, China, Edmar Peña, Florida, Brian Carrera Show, Nathan Miguel, Dennis Castro, Celia Necesito Aninao. We also had drop by Mark Leysa, Tom De Luna, Master Z Servando, Anastasia Lovesmith, Ginoong Crisanto Gaspar. Who else?
Siyempre, huwag mo nga kalimutan si Romel Cruz, si Sir Sel Palagana, siyempre Edwin Loyola, si Papi Oka from Baguio, siyempre si Chef
Albert
Easy,
Alday from Taiwan,
Sir Donel Dumiran, magandang gabi po. Yan.
Roberto Armea also who dropped by. May question nga siya kaya hindi na natin naihabol.
Ano yun? Ano yung question? Pwede naman natin pasagot siguro pag
yun daw parang
paki-flash nga.
What are the benefits in this one? This one. So sabi niya, good evening sa mga honorable guests. So kahanga-hanga pala kayo lahat kasi way back 80s and 90s nakakatambayan ko mga photographer noon. Narinig ko na yung camera club. Naalala lang daw niya. So yun. What would have been the benefits of the members, especially mga camera holder lang na member? Kasi yun nga, 'di ba? Yun nga, may preconceived notion
kasi
Sa ano.
Again, they do compete inside, but the winning photographer or the winner doesn't receive any cash or anything, but
Yes,
it's more
it's
of a
always
token. It's gonna be a medal or
a
a trophy. Pero yung mga medal trophy nila hindi basta-basta medal trophy.
The Murano glass from Italy or the medal.
The way they describe it mas ang galing. Gusto ko kahit yun, gusto ko, diba?
Dito sa club ko, Maki, mananalo ng first place may biyentang box.
Yeah. Pero yun pala, may bago tayong viewer from Cambodia, si Sir Vic Flores Sporting.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, thank you.
I was talking to I was talking to him earlier from ayan siya. I was chatting. We were talking. Then kasi tinag niya ako. There was one, di ba nakita nyo meron ako pinost yung para ako nagdadasal na naman. So it's my write-up noong 2007 ba? Yan 2007 pa.
Tumpak lahat yan, papi eh.
No. Yun nga. You know why I was tinag ako ni Sir. Tapos I was reading the thread. Then it was again that discussion na pag nag-post process ka, ganyan. Meron siya pa, may papasok na, I don't do post process. Guys, it's 2022. Now, hindi ako against sa mga taong ayaw mag-process. Okay yun. Kasi that's your choice. Pero don't shoot down people who does processing. Okay? Don't degrade it. Don't tell them, don't make it them na para they sound na hindi ka photographer na Now, kanya-kanyang trip ho yan. Maniwala kayo, kanya-kanyang lang trip ho yan. It's an art form. Again, I was talking to sabi ko, it's an art form. Maraming klase ng art form. Hindi yan isang kalye lang. Marami yung branches. Hindi porke na iba yung ginagawa ng isa, mali na yung No. It's a different perspective of photography. Alright? So,
describe photography in one word.
Beautiful. President.
Ay, nako. Okay.
Go, Sir Kay. Lupit talaga.
Pero ang galing. One of my favorite episode. This one. This is Again, thank you very much for sa mga guests namin, for si Sir Garrick, of course, Sir Bob, Sir
Sison, or Bob
Roberto,
Sison, Sir Jaime Cumagun,
Jaime, matatandaan natin lagi si Jaime, si Mr. Smiley Face. And unfortunately, we miss Sir Patrick Uy was meron lang talaga kalang asikasuhin. So let's hope we could invite him for another talk. So pero I hope Sir Patrick, I hope everything's okay there. So lang po. Yun po. So I'm your host, PARC Cruz. With my awesome co-host na picturean ko si Romel habang natutulog kanina. Nakita ko meron na siyang may mundoy moment siya. Oo, may picture ako. Gusto mo ipakita ko dito? Magde-deny ka o magde-deny ka? Hindi. So hindi ka magde-deny. Okay. So na-picture ako. Okay, na-picture ako yun. Ang itsura niya. Lupit. Parang Pamaya, pakita nga, labas na nga natin.
Mamaya, huwag na sa live.
Pinulugan mo.
Oo, nagmundoy moment na siya. Nabiktima na siya ng mundoy. Pero mas malala kasi si Mundoy, may poise matulog eh. Ito, alam mo yung puti na lang yung mata, nakikita mo. Alam mo yung nagiging zombie? Talagang pinicture ako twice eh.
Magpapabouch ka sa CCP.
Uy, Pei, ganda naman ng pussy mo
Pussy.
Oh.
Ang laki ng pussy mo, Pei. Ang laki.
Pussy.
Mabalahibo, Pei. Mabalahibo. Trim mo naman yung pussy mo.
Ganyan talaga.
Hello guys, this is Boring Monday session. I'll tell you the session now. It's session 69. Hindi ko lang pinamention kasi baka ma-off naman. Pero it's session 69 and next week it's gonna be session 70. Oh my God, ang dami na naman.
Next week Kung Hey Patchoy na next week.
Yeah.
Ano gagawin natin? So ano kailangan natin gawin?
Magpapa-Gcash ka, Sir Pay?
Ayan.
Oy, may raffle! Guys, guys. Next Monday, abang kayo. So, I guess kahit wala na tayong guest or kung may guest man tayo, kahit isang guest lang, kulitin na natin. So, sama na natin sa town hall. 'Di ba? Town hall na lang.
Yun,
Pwede.
Team Zion, no?
Chinese New Year next week.
Profile pic.
Monday.
Team Zion. At least ito, alam mo na, Monday na to. Huwag ka babati ng boring Mondays pag Sabado. Addict lang gumagawa nun.
Tapos Sabado po. Mondays.
May blooper na rin siya, Maki, no? Nagkaroon na, ang bilis na karma, no? Ang bilis na karma, no? Anyway, guys, we're done. This is Session 69, and we are saying good night. Well, of course, I'm PARC with Romel, Maki, and Pay Gumwarts. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night, guys. Good night.
Mel, 2 minutes pagka bago ka, wag ka biglang lumayas. 2 minutes lang.
In one word. Peace out.
One word. One.